Well, I mean, I didn't see your face on the screen.
My laptop was dead, so I was giving it a charge for the 1 minute after.
I got you.
So I got it to turn on. It's ready to go. But yeah, MVS. What a night it was last night. 28-3 at one point. And then, the Steelers kind of coast to the finish, 28-15, 8-6, one game up on the Ravens. They could lose 2 of their last 3 as long as they beat the Ravens, and they'll win the division.
So that leads to the question that we were kind of kicking around at our meeting about an hour ago. And Nick is the outlier because he's first and foremost, as we all know, if anyone listens to this show for any length of time, more than anything else, a Steelers fan in the NFL. Still from Ripon, Wisconsin. Still a Cubs fan, still a Steelers fan. Do you think that's generational, or is that just a product of some circumstance, Nick?
I would think that it's a product of a circumstance for me. I think that when I was 8, for whatever reason, Santonio Holmes in the end zone in the Super Bowl burnt into my brain, and I just stuck with it. I called myself when I was like 6 or 7, somewhere in there, a Bengals fan. I had a Carson Palmer jersey. I liked them because we were the Ripon Tigers, and I associated with that Tiger brand in the NFL. Then I was a Drew Brees fan, so I called myself a Saints fan for a little bit.
Okay.
And then,
a little bit of that, though, is generational, I think, because I think the younger generation, I feel like a 80-year-old grandfather.
My mom never put any pressure on me like I think most people do with their kids in terms of like, we're Packers fans in this household. You know what I mean? We love the Packers. Packers are our team. My mom kind of just let me figure out what I liked, and I guess that's where I ended up.
Are your brothers Packers fans?
Yeah, everyone in the family Packers fans.
Okay.
And then it's just me. And I have a strong affinity for the Packers. I would say, and I think most won't understand this on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line, those listening, I think I am a fantasy football fan first versus actual football.
Okay. All right.
Like, I care more deeply about my fantasy teams, as noted yesterday, than I think I do about any individual team. But the Steelers is where I lie. That's where I feel the most gut punch when they lose, or the most elation when they win, for sure.
Okay. So that's the baseline where Nick is. A little bit of an outlier because I think most of the people that are listening to this show are Packers fans. That's just the way, I would assume so. So the question that we bandied about is, I think Nick came up with the wording on this. How petty are you?
Yeah.
Would you rather the Packers win? So this is a binary choice. Remember when last week Nick was asking the question of, do I think that the Packers are more likely to be the number 1 seed or out of the playoffs? There was no in between. It's like an election when there's only 2 candidates. It's a binary choice. It's one or the other. There's not going to be a third candidate. There's not going to be a third choice. So here's the question on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line, 877-794-1973, and we will bat this around through the course of the next 3 hours. How petty are you? Would you rather the Packers win the Super Bowl or the Bears lose in the playoffs?
Well, that feels like a maybe. I think everyone would pick the Super Bowl, right?
I don't know.
The thought process there for me is essentially this, like, how important is it for you that the Packers win the division, or are you more satisfied if anybody else besides the Bears do?
Or is it a better question? Packers win the Super Bowl or Bears lose the Super Bowl? Because
I think the better question would be Packers lose the Super Bowl or Bears lose the Super Bowl. What? Because anybody's going to pick their favorite team to win the Super Bowl, Doug. That's the point I'm trying to make. So if one of them is going to make...
the question was, how petty are you, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd still rather see my team win it all.
Yeah.
Because also if you win the Super Bowl, like if the Packers win the Super Bowl, that means the Bears aren't winning it. So that they're automatically out from that. So yeah, I would much rather see the Packers win. We haven't seen it since 2010. I'd much rather see them win. I'm kind of with Nick there, where it's like you almost have to make it a little bit tougher there. Yeah, Packers get to the Super Bowl but lose, or And then
Yeah.
seeing the Bears get their hearts ripped out.
Okay.
Yeah, the premise of it initially when I was first kind of spitballing was like, how important is it to you that the Bears don't win this division?
I think it's inevitable that they've got the inside track. I mean, they've got their home game against the Packers coming up on Saturday night. So if they win that, then I mean, there's no
if
tiebreaker.
They win that.
Well, if they win that, there's no tiebreaker because of the tie that the Packers had earlier this season. So head to head, I mean, it's going to who has the best record unless the Bears tie one of their last 3 games of the year or 2 games of the year, because if the Packers tie, then that negates all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you rather see the Packers win or the Bears lose?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That's yeah. It's a great question, but
because it's disaster in Wisconsin. We all remember 2016, except for Nick. I mean, he remembers 2016, but for Brewers fans, it was disaster scenario. Disaster. Yeah. Everything that could have possibly gone wrong in October of that year went wrong as far as the baseball team is concerned. Because when the Cubs won it all, you couldn't make fun of them anymore. You couldn't say, well, anybody's had a bad century.
Yeah.
What have the Cubs ever won in this, in your lifetime?
Yeah.
And the answer's nothing.
Since World War I.
Yeah. They hadn't been to this. They hadn't been to the World Series
since 45.
Since 1945. And then they win it all.
Yeah.
That's doomsday scenario stuff. And Cubs fans still bring it up.
Yeah. And the Brewers were bad that year, so it's not like they were even close, but that was 2016. They were in the middle of their rebuild. But then we had this year, Doug, where the Brewers and the Cubs play each other in the postseason.
Sure.
And who came out ahead at the end of that 5-game series?
Well, both teams won the same amount of playoff games. I mean, it's just fact, but I'm just kidding. Yeah,
Sorry,
of course,
who
the Brewers
won the series though?
Right, that was the gamble that people were or weren't willing to take. And
I wanted it. I embraced it.
And you win, you cash big, you get the jackpot because you got exactly what you wanted. I may have figured out a scenario at which it's hard to pick what side you'd rather be on here.
Okay.
So would you rather, here it is, would you rather Packers win the division but lose in the first round, or Bears lose the division but they do make the Super Bowl? So would you rather take the division title essentially, but the Bears end up in the Super Bowl? Which one would you rather?
I would rather the Bears. Okay. Say that again and slowly because I'm not that bright.
Okay. Behind door one is Packers win division.
Packers win the division. And
but they lose in the first round.
Okay. So probably the wild card. No, it would be the divisional round. Because
let's just say hypothetically.
No, it'd be the wild card round. What am I talking about? Wild card round. Yeah.
Packers win the division, lose in wild card round is in door one.
Yes.
Behind door two is the Bears lose the division.
Okay.
But they do advance all the way to the Super Bowl.
So what happened? Okay. So here's the inherent, I think, flaw with your question. Behind door number one, what happens with the Bears?
Behind door number one,
they do not make the Super Bowl.
I would rather the Bears not make the Super Bowl. So I'll take the Packers.
Win the division, lose in the first round.
Yeah, I don't want the Bears in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, you would have the divisional title, and neither of you would have the divisional title.
Yeah. Nobody in Wisconsin, no Packers fan gives a rip about the divisional title.
Yeah.
Well, I just
it's kind of like having it so that the Bears don't,
Yeah, it's nice to have because the Bears don't have it. But
yeah, and then also the Lions don't have it because those fans have gotten a little, they got a little
pretentious
in the last couple of years.
You got to understand in Green Bay, they don't. It's not like it is in Indianapolis where they hang a banner for making the playoffs. They only hang banners in Green Bay for winning it all, and that's where the bar is set. And I love that for the listen. We all love the Brewers. It's fine. It's great. Fine. Yeah, they hang one up for every playoff.
Yeah, the 2020 wild card banner hanging up there is still kind of like
it's like you wanna
okay, but
for a while the Bucks had all the Central Division utterly meaningless Central Division championships that were in a ring around the Bradley Center scoreboard.
Yeah, the Detroit Lions immediately put up their NFC North banner when they first won it. Because their last one was an NFC Central banner.
Yeah. It was.
So-
Nobody in Green Bay gives a flying crap about the division, nor should
Yeah.
they. I love that, and that's one of the things that I love about Packers Nation. It's like division championship. How many?
Like, okay,
how
cool.
How many North Division championship sweatshirts and hats do you see running around? It's like I'm gonna hold out for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, you got to buy all the gear. I mean, we had a former coworker that bought all the gear for the Brewers, right?
Yeah, and I
buy
told,
all the gear.
And I told him that's ridiculous. What is your budget? Are you bankrupting your kid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't they
His
want
kid
to go
is
to
gonna be-
college at some point?
Yeah, I mean,
But-
listen, it's your money. Do you? But I'm holding out.
Yeah.
Kid's going to be swagged
Yeah.
out. I mean,
Because
Yeah, he's gonna be swagged out with a Green Bay Packers 2013 NFC North Division Championship hat.
yeah.
Wow.
And like I still see Super Bowl 45 hats being worn
Exactly.
all the time,
That's what I'm
all
saying.
over the place. Like
What I'm
there are
saying.
people still wearing their Super Bowl 45 15 years later.
Yeah. And Super Bowl 31 stuff. That stuff, because as I like to say, trophies forever.
Exactly. Banners fly forever.
They don't give you a trophy for winning the division, and they shouldn't. I don't
No.
even think. Listen,
yeah.
in Green Bay, I don't even the George Halas Trophy to me meaningless. Nothing. I didn't care.
Yeah.
The George Halas Trophy, with all due respect, all it means is that you have a chance to get the one that counts.
Yeah, which is named after Lombardi, of course.
But
But also, it was kind of fun getting the George Halas Trophy in Chicago
sure.
over
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Bears. That was
And
That
it
was sweet.
only meant more because it was in Chicago on their field.
exactly. So yeah, as disappointing as a first round exit would be for the Packers this year, I would still take that division title and that first round exit to ensure that the Bears do not get themselves to a Super Bowl. Because if that's the door that we got to take, I'm absolutely going to take it. Even if the Packers can't get there, I certainly don't want to see the Bears get there.
That's
Yeah.
Tuesday stuff.
all right. Yeah, I mean, Jonah's trying on the talking text line to help us out here. And even he's like, oh, wait, that doesn't make sense either. So I guess we figured out some sort of brain twister or whatever you want to call it, some impossible scenario, right? Because what he proposed was Packers win NFC Championship, lose Super Bowl, winning the NFC Championship over the Bears. Bears win NFC Championship over the Packers, but lose Super Bowl. Of course, you're going to want the Packers to beat the Bears and then lose in the Super Bowl over the Bears beating the Packers and then losing in the Super Bowl. So we're close, but no cigar.
We're
trying to figure out what exactly we can put out there because we keep finding ways to make it very obvious what choice we would want. Right?
Yeah.
It's okay. The one where the Packers are better.
This is why we have
winning
show
the Super
meetings
Bowl.
live on the air.
This is the
Exactly.
problem, right? This is what we thought we had the framework of a great question. And then immediately it was like, oh, wait, this is not possible. This is a poor example. Long story short, I guess everyone wants the Packers to do better than the Bears. I think
Sure.
that's the reality.
Yeah.
I think if the Packers were to lose on Saturday, come next week, we could have a better example to put together, right? Because at that point, the Bears would have the divisional lead. They'd be in the driver's seat. They'd have
Mhm. Well, they're in control of their own destiny right now. The Packers,
Yeah.
actually, so are the Packers because of the head to head.
It's
Packers
like-
win this week, and I mean you're in a great spot.
Packers win
At
out, they
this
win the
mo-
division.
Yeah.
At this moment, you got two people fighting over the wheel, right? There is the person sitting in the driver's seat, and that's the Bears.
Yeah.
But the Packers are the struggle trying to take the wheel from them. Packers lose this weekend. They're firmly in the back seat.
Well,
It's
sure,
just a
because-
matter of finding ways for the Bears to blow it.
Yeah, because they just had a rest stop because, both teams had to pee.
Yeah.
And
Little Chinese fire drill, and everyone moves around the car.
Yeah, and so both teams had a set of keys to the car, but when they went into the bathroom to pee, when they came out, the Bears jumped in the driver's seat, and the Packers are now trying to wrest that from them, but they've got a collision course because they got to stop for a meal on Saturday night, starting at 7:20, and whoever emerges from that first, well, then they're in the driver's seat. Both teams control their own destiny.
That is right.
If the Bears win out, they win the division. If the Packers win out, they win the division. Simple as that.
And it all starts with this weekend.
Absolutely. And Saturday night, for those that maybe are still not fully wrapped their head around, it's Saturday night. This Saturday, not Sunday, Saturday night. So stay tuned, ready for that. 6 days between games for the Packers. One less day to dwell on their injury loss and their loss in general. Mark and Fond du Lac saying, you guys talking like Packers making the playoffs is a lock. It's 50-50 at this point. They could easily lose out. Yes, if they lose out, that would require the Lions to win out. So it feels like it's pretty good right now. Packer in a great spot.
The Lions, to me, are just this gnat that, yeah, they've got talented players. They really do. I don't want to take away from any of the, the guys that they've got. Jameer Gibbs is an elite back. Amon-Ra St. Brown is an elite receiver. I think what you're seeing from Jared Goff is a resurgence to his career. I do question, the coaches that are coaching them because they've had to shuffle the deck a couple of times. When you lose, you're seeing the difference that Ben Johnson makes. Less of a difference with Aaron Glenn with the New York Jets, but you're seeing the real difference that Ben Johnson made the last several years, last three as coordinator before he got the Bears head coaching job. Because, there are a couple of guys who I'm looking at as coach of the year candidates, and they're all first-year guys. Ben Johnson's one of them. Liam Coleman's another one down in Jacksonville. He's done an amazing job turning that franchise around. But, yeah, Ben Johnson has this team really believing right now. And, yeah, but these games are meaningful at the end of the year. And that's, to me, what makes all of this so much more fun, is that these are meaningful games. And again, it's whoever emerges on Saturday night is going to be the one who has the clearest path, because you've got a Ravens team that, yes, they're still alive. They're still playing for their playoff lives. Took a hit last night with the Steelers win, but they're still alive. And then the Vikings, who their only motivation is going to be to knock the Packers off their perch.
Yeah. And the Lions, their final 3 games that they got to win out, they got the Steelers coming up this next weekend, then the Vikings and the Bears.
After that's a tough stretch for Detroit. After some more reflection, Packers could lose 2 of 3. Lions could win 2 of 3 and still get in if the Packers lose out, because the tie for the Packers would finish them at what would be 10-6-1.
Yeah.
And then the Lions can still go 11-6.
God, that tie just keeps on coming back. Like it just keeps on stinging. That tie against Cowboys when they should have won. It's like
or should have lost, because if Micah Parsons hadn't have gotten Dak by the ankle, then they would have lost that game.
Yeah.
It would almost be better. I know it's not, but like it's easier to wrap your mind around, to like really understand, like exactly what you need. Now it's ultimately like they could finish with the same amount of losses, but because they have one less win because it's a tie, then they lose. It's like I'd almost rather know exactly what they need. And
math is hard, but it's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's just like awkward. Like I wish that I could say the Packers had they won the game, right? Then they're 10-4. Then like, okay, you're 2 games up on Detroit with 3 games to go.
It's awkward.
Now they're 1.5 games up.
It's awkward, like a fart in church. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
But people are looking around saying, how'd that happen? Where'd that happen there?
Who did that?
Right. We'll take a short time out. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, Pete Doherty and Eric Baranzak, they wrote what could happen with the Packers defense and how Jeff Hafley shuffled the deck a little bit. And he's going to, try to figure out how to live life without Micah Parsons. Stay with us. The talk and text line open to you at 877-794-1973. Again, 877-794-1973. We're just getting started. It's the Tuesday edition of D.N.D. on the Game.
Saturday night. I just can't wait. I got a day. Saturday night.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
D.N.D. will be back in just a moment.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1978.
In June of 78, Darkness on the Edge of Town is released, Bruce Springsteen's follow-up to his breakthrough album, Born to Run. The album charts at number 5.
In the darkness on the edge of town. In the darkness on the edge of town.
Boston-based band The Cars released their debut album. It goes to number 18. It features the singles Just What I Needed and My Best Friend's Girl.
She's my best friend's girl. But she used to be mine.
In July of 78, the Rolling Stones released Some Girls in the U.S. The album and the single Miss You both hit number 1. In August of 78, Boston released their sophomore album, Don't Look Back. The album goes to number 1 in the U.S., selling 4 million copies in its first month.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1978. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1977.
In February of 77, 60s band leader Manfred Mann has a new band and scores a U.S. number 1 hit with a cover of Bruce Springsteen's song Blinded by the Light. In March, Foreigner released their debut album. It goes to number 4 in the U.S., driven by 2 top 10 singles, Cold as Ice and Feels Like the First Time. Philadelphia Blue-Eyed Soul duo Hall & Oates have their first U.S. number 1 with Rich Girl from their 5th album, Bigger Than the Both of Us. Fleetwood Mac's album Rumors is released. It's their 2nd number 1 album in a row in the U.S., dominating the charts at number 1 for 31 weeks. It spawns 4 top 10 singles, including the number 1, Dreams.
When the rain washes you clean, you know.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1977. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1975.
In June of 75, the Bee Gees released the LP Main Course, featuring a more dance-oriented sound, and delivered 3 hit singles, including the number 1, Jive Talkin'. In July, Fleetwood Mac shake things up. They add Americans Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks to the lineup and have a number 1 album. And Wings released the album Venus and Mars, which goes to number 1. Their U.S. tour features Paul McCartney's first live appearance in the U.S. since 1966.
Love is fine for all we know. For all we know, our love will grow. That's what the man said. So won't you listen to what the man said? He said.
In August of 75, the Eagles' 4th album goes to number 1 and has 3 top 5 singles, including the number 1 title track, One of These Nights. And the boss, Bruce Springsteen, is featured on the cover of Time magazine, and Born to Run becomes his breakthrough album, reaching number 3 in the U.S.
Come on with me, chance like us. Baby, we were born to run.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1975. Coming up.
We call it Wagertainment.
All right, place your bets, place your bets.
VSiN, every night at 6. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest on Fox Sports 920.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Daryl Hall as he flashes back to give us some insight on the Private Eyes video from back in the day.
So we're up there, and I'm looking at this stupid video, and they have us jumping around with these stupid suits on. And I thought it was a joke. I thought the whole thing was a joke. And then all I could think of was, I got to get up in the morning, and about 2 hours sleep, and I got to go to Cincinnati. That's what I was thinking. If you look at me singing in Private Eyes, that's what was going on in my head. And the other thing I can tell you about that video is that T-Bone Volk was the first video that he had ever done. And he said, what do I do? What do I do? I said, you be the guy that just stands there and doesn't do anything. And so if you look at that video, you'll just see T-Bone going like this. That's what I told him to do.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Daryl Hall and all your favorite artists.
It's Game Radio Network, D.N.D. on this Tuesday, December 15th, 16th. It's 16th. I put it on the dock that it's 15th, but it's 16th. I'm constantly a day off. All week long,
Yeah.
I've been a day off.
And it's only Tuesday. It's incredible.
okay.
But
I mean, I should know.
no, they all run together this time of year. Honestly, Doug, like we get to the end of the year, you got Christmas coming up. Like everything's all running together. It gets dark at like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
We're all thrown off. You're not the only one, Doug.
I mean, my mom's birthday is tomorrow, for crying out loud.
Okay, well, first of all, happy early birthday to Mama Russell over there.
Right.
Um,
So, but I'm maybe I'm a day off because of that.
maybe
I have no idea.
you're expecting it. I mean, okay, so now what are you gonna get her? for her
Oh, we don't
birthday?
do we don't really do birthday
Okay.
gifts.
Just gonna go hang out and
We're to the
say
point. We're to the point where the text messages will suffice.
hi. Okay.
Well, I'll see
All
her
right.
at Christmas. I saw her on Saturday. I'll see her at Christmas. It'll be
Okay,
fine.
there
It'll
you
be
go.
fine. I mean, most of the year when they're down there in Florida,
Ah, yes.
it's kind of funny because when my folks are in Florida, when it's cold because they're snowbirds,
Right. Makes sense.
I never hear from them. Like ever. Like
Yeah.
it's birthday text message. Happy birthday. Thanks. And when they're back in town, because all of their friends in Florida, like, so my mother plays mahjong, they play pickleball. My dad golfs. I mean, he's 85 years old. He golfs.
The typical retiree
Retire-
activities in Florida.
Yeah, he golfs 3 times a week. I mean, they've got their whole life down in Florida.
Yeah. Living it up.
Oh, yeah, as one does. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think that they reached a certain age to move to Florida because that's the law. And but when they come back here, when it warms up, it's like then they're like, hey, you want to go?
Yeah.
Can we
Want to go to this?
Want
Want to hang out? Want to do something?
It's like, then we hear from them all the time.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. So I
mom's
wonder.
birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. Well, happy early birthday to Mama Russell.
Thank you.
But yeah, so like moving to Florida, retiring there.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's the first thing a lot of people would do if they won the Powerball, which is up to over $1 billion now.
What did we say, Nick? 1.25 billion.
That's what it looks like.
That's a lot of money.
It is. What would you do with that?
Well, the question would be, would you do the installments or would you do the lump sum?
Oh, I do the installments.
Oh, I do the lump sum, but I also am like twice your age, though. too.
Yeah.
He needs the
For me,
money now.
the 20 or 30 year payout plan is going to be a little different than Doug
Sure.
taking the 30-year payout plan. No offense. But
None
Yeah.
taken.
Yeah.
Math is what it is.
yeah.
I saw someone.
I'm not turning back the clock anytime soon.
Right.
Unless I win the 1.25.
Yeah. With
billion
$1.2 billion,
dollars,
you might be able to turn back the clock. So
I saw
there might be a way to
somebody
do that.
take like the installments, and it was $1,000 a month for I don't know.
I think that was like Australia or something.
and everyone was just ripping her in the comments because it was like that's only like 50 whatever grand, 52,000.
Yeah.
And you
Still a
had
solid
like
base,
multiple 100 million or something that you could have taken. I don't remember what it was. It was some big number. Let's just say roughly 10 million. Maybe it was way
Yeah.
lower than I'm anticipating.
All right. So
Certainly wasn't $1 billion.
say if it's
No, definitely not.
if the jackpot is $1.25 billion,
Yeah.
Uncle Sam's going to take a little over 50% of that. Right.
Yeah,
Off, just
because
lop
of
that
course.
right off the top. So that takes it down to 750.
I found it. Canadian 20-year-old turns down 1 million cash for 1,000 a week. So it's only 1
For life.
million for life.
But $1 million. I don't.
It would take roughly 20 years to get to the million. So yeah.
Yeah.
I can
And
see
she's
that.
only
good.
20 years old. So,
That's
still
right.
several years
But she's
after
in
that.
Canada. I don't know life expectancy. She could be up in, an area that's desolate
where the water's cleaner and everything's cleaner up there.
where the moose roam free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful country. And
Yeah.
you get north of, say Regina, and it's just
There's
it's
nothing.
beautiful. It's
Yeah,
it's
it's beautiful.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
But there aren't. I mean, like
That takes some
Edmonton.
self-restraint though, right? To take 1,000 a week instead of 1 million on the spot.
But if you live in, I don't know if she's in Toronto or Ottawa or Montreal or up in the hinterlands.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I don't know. But
In the
yeah,
Yukon?
it's going to be a large chunk taken out by taxes, which is like, oh, now, of
All right.
course, taxes actually do something. But yeah.
All right, let's say 700 million after taxes.
Yeah.
Okay. Lump sum, because that's what I'm taking. That cuts that down to about
400.
maybe. Yeah, about 400.
Yeah.
All right, I'm dealing with $400 million on the lump sum buyout. But you guys are taking the annuity,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm taking the annuity for sure.
Nick?
I think I would. Yeah. I mean, at my age.
If you're going to be smart with it, which a lot of people aren't smart with the
That's right.
jackpot with the lottery winnings, but you got to be smart with it. You got to take a long term.
Okay, so the first thing that I'm doing is a big house in Sedona, Arizona.
Nice.
Like that just overlooks the rocks.
There you go.
That's what I want to wake up to that every day.
Okay.
I want to wake up to that every day. So that's the first thing that I'm buying.
All right.
I don't want to buy a plane. I'm not going to buy a plane. That's crazy talk. But I will rent one from NetJets.
There you go. Get private jet. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's a game changer.
Of course.
I'm getting a box at Lambeau.
Of course. Have to.
I'm getting a condo in Green Bay so I can sleep in the same bed every night.
Okay.
When I do go to the
games. one of the condos in Titletown.
Yes.
Yep.
So I can walk then to the stadium.
Beautiful.
After that, I don't know. A lot of vacations. Maybe a house in Sydney.
Ooh. Okay.
Australia.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
love Australia.
I've always wanted. It's number one on my bucket list.
The spiders fly there, so I don't know how much I want to go to Australia. So that's definitely a concern.
Well, maybe, but I want like something that can overlook Sydney Harbor, the bridge,
the opera house,
Yeah, that's what I want.
Either of you guys watch Lost?
No,
at any point in your lives?
I mean, it hasn't been on for 15 years, but no, I haven't.
Just finished it recently. A lot of Australia in that one, just in the plot.
Yeah.
So that's probably where I would start. The rest of it, I'd give a lot of it away.
Okay.
Wow.
But friends and family.
Friends and family, sure.
Employees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
we're
good friends, right, Doug?
If I win $400 million, I'll take care of you guys. How about that?
Oh,
that's nice.
There we go. That's why we love you, Doug.
So, all right.
What do you mean by that? Take care of us? What is that?
I mean,
tie up loose ends.
I will. You interpret it however you want.
I'll take care of you.
Nick?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
If I won that money?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. It's just
Dave. What's the
okay? Geez.
There's so much to be done, man. I mean, I'd set myself
we're talking
up.
about the first thing here.
I'd make more wise investments. I'd try and make that money grow. I'd use it to, buy myself a home, buy my mom nice stuff. Probably.
There you go. That's nice.
Yeah.
But I don't have any like dream vacation place.
Where would you live? Where would you have a second home?
Yeah, I would have to have a second home.
So where? So you live in Madison, Wisconsin, which is God's country as far as I'm concerned.
It's a good spot. Yeah,
it's a great spot. I say that with
you could find a nice spot on one of the lakes
people think
out there.
I'm kidding. I love Madison. Like as I've always said, if you're living, you get to live in Madison, Wisconsin. You're already standing on third base, which means you've already hit a triple, and all you have to do is get 90 feet, and you've already won life. You're standing on third base if you get to live in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, you could buy a house on Lake Mendota, or Monona, either one of the lakes.
Mm-hmm.
Buy a house right on
the lake.
I don't know if it's for sale.
$400 million.
There's so many.
City would say yes.
There's so many gorgeous places that you can live in Madison, Wisconsin, but it does get a little cold. That's why I say the Sedona. For me, the Sedona thing is perfect because
it's nice and warm down there.
It's warmer. It's not hot.
Yeah.
It gets warm in the summertime, but you got the Red Rocks. There's great hiking there. Flagstaff, if you want to really get out of the heat, you can go north of Flagstaff. You can go south to Phoenix. And you can go to spring training games every day if you want.
Oh God, that sounds amazing.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I'm challenging.
When spring training comes around, I'm going to ask if I can hang out at your house for 6 weeks, Doug.
No.
Oh,
but as part of me taking care of you, I'll probably get you a little something in Phoenix.
Okay,
little apartment in Phoenix.
Okay,
but
I appreciate that.
But are you going to hang out at my house for 6? No, that's
no. Well, I'd spend most of the time at the ballpark. Just need to sleep, Doug. But yeah, okay. So what I would do. All right. First thing, gotta help, pay off the parents' mortgage.
Of course.
Gotta help take care of them, and all right.
That. So now if you took the lump sum, now you have $399,950 left or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, say whatever the mortgage is on lumps. If it's $200,000, you still have $399,800 left.
Yeah.
$399,800,000.
Thank you.
No, you're good. You're good.
Math is hard. But yeah, so
keep doing it.
So that's less than 1/10%.
Right.
Continue.
Still, but got to be taken care of.
Course.
And then perhaps taking a trip down to Grand Cayman. Visit visit maybe one of the banks down there, set some stuff up.
It's
with
not
that.
illegal money.
No.
That's what you do when you're washing money.
I don't know, but still, just kind of maybe buy a house on Grand Cayman and then just get sent there.
I've been to Grand Cayman. It's nice. Georgetown.
Yeah.
I'd give it,
Hang
I'd
out
give
in the
it all the
Caribbean.
Badgers football.
I thought you said
That's
you
what
wanted to
I'd
make
do.
wise investment. No.
So that's the thing. We're talking about winning like the most significant jackpot potentially ever and taking the lump sum.
Yeah.
That is the amount of money Michigan State just got in one donation.
400 million?
401 million, actually.
Wow. Okay. So, Nick, what building are you going to have the
I'm
name
not
after
giving
you?
all of my money to Wisconsin Athletics or USC Athletics. That ain't happening. I'll write them a check once and then you guys need to figure it out.
Bye. See ya. But no. Hey, I'm definitely taking trips and definitely going somewhere warm. And I'm not going to be seeing too much around here.
That's
fair. After I get that win.
I'm going to get a private box at Lambeau, a private box at Camp Randall, a private box at LA Coliseum. I'd like to
Miller
say that
Park or American Family Field.
That's
Sorry.
81 games. That's a lot.
Yeah. I might get that.
You might get that. I would.
You'd be surprised if I didn't.
I'll timeshare one of those. How about that?
Okay.
Because
yeah.
I don't know that I want to go to 81. I love baseball. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
I want to go to 81.
I'll have you guys come in for a couple of games, however many games you want for that full season suite.
All right.
That's right. You could probably buy a team easily with that. What level of team could you buy with that much money?
With 1.2 billion, on your own, not much. I mean that.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't go as far
The
as
Tampa Bay Rays just went for like 1.7.
So, but again, you're talking about after Uncle Sam, after they lump
after they
sum
take
penalty.
a bunch, and it's going to take you 20, 30 years to fully get it.
Yeah, so I mean, you can buy like a minor. You could buy like the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Yeah, sure.
Comfortably. I mean, if you buy a minor league team,
you
could buy the Admirals comfortably. You could buy
the Northwoods League.
You could probably buy the entire Northwoods League.
Probably,
yes, you're probably correct.
I don't know that I'd want to, but yeah.
So right, you might. I mean,
maybe, but
I mean, but you can't listen. $400 million 25 years ago would buy you a team. I mean, the Bucks sold for $450 to Edens and Lazary in 2014, and that was the most ever paid for an NBA team at the time. And the valuations have just skyrocketed ever since.
The Brewers sold for what, 250 to Atanasio in 04, 05?
Yeah.
Like, you could have bought two teams with this kind of payout.
But you can't anymore.
Not anymore. No.
The valuations
inflation
have gone up.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, but yeah, I'm certainly buying someplace warm.
Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to buy
tickets. Yes.
So
which I did yesterday, but that did not win. So got to hope the luck changes for this next drawing on Wednesday.
877-794-1973. What would you do with the $1.25 billion? So it's a two-part question. Would you take the lump sum? I would. Or would you take the annuity like these guys would? But again, I think it's because I'm older than these guys are.
Yeah.
And the annuity will run out.
It will.
I will run out before it will. So I'm just gonna, just give me my money now.
Yeah. Bring me my money.
877-794-1973. Just having a little fun here on a Tuesday. Coming back, Pete Doherty and Eric Bannerzak from Packers News. They have an interesting proposal and what they think may happen now that Micah Parsons is out for the season. The Packers have 3 regular season games left. And then whatever happens after that, well, number one isn't going to be part of it. As he tweeted out yesterday, just the word September.
Let's go.
Hurts. That hurts. That hurts. It hurts. Yeah. But this is the life that we have chosen. If you're a sports fan, this is the life you've chosen because injuries sometimes kick you right in the cubes. 877-794-1973. It's D.N.D. Doug, Nick, and Dave on this Tuesday. Still to come, Patrick Herb will join us coming up at 12:35. Hopefully, we'll also have time to hear from Packers coach Matt LaFleur. He is scheduled to hit the podium just as our show is hitting its last segment, and oftentimes coach is late. So we will hopefully hear from him. I want to hear his thoughts on life without Micah Parsons, but there's an idea of what could happen and what the defense could look like as Jeff Hafley tries to scheme something up for the last few games of the 2025 NFL campaign. Stay with us. It's D.N.D. Doug, Nick, and Dave on the game.
Money, get away.
Want to watch D.N.D? They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
I like him even more.
Just search 97.3 The Game.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Peter Gabriel to reflect on the WOMAD Festival's evolution.
We initially started this WOMAD Festival in 1980. The first one was 82, and it was very naive enthusiasm for some of these strange and wonderful things we were hearing. And as a failed drummer, I was hearing grooves that I fell in love with, which seemed a lot more alive than what I was hearing on the radio. As a singer too, these wonderful voices, and it's still continued that way. And it's a lot more difficult, because the demise of the music business and record stores has made it extremely difficult for any minority interest label. But we work hard to focus online activities, and there is still, happy to say, a good audience, and the WOMAD Festival is, I think, like a lot of live parts of the business, actually flourishing, even though the records are not doing as well.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Peter Gabriel and all your favorite artists.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1974.
All the band on the run. Band on the run.
In January of 1974, the top-selling album of the year is released, Paul McCartney and Wings' Band on the Run. Bob Dylan, backed by the band, has his first #1 album with Planet Waves. In February, Jersey City's Kool and the Gang have a top 5 hit with Jungle Boogie. New York City's Kiss released their debut, which sold 75,000 copies without a hit single. In March of 74, Canadian band Rush released their debut album, Get a New Drummer, and go on their first U.S. tour. David Essex has the first of many top 10 hits in the UK and his only U.S. hit with the single Rock On, which goes to number 5. And Steely Dan hit the top 5 with the single Ricky Don't Lose That Number, and have a top 10 album too with Pretzel Logic.
Ricky, don't lose that number. It's the only one you want. You might use it if you feel better when you get home.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1974. Coming up.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Elton John songs that you thumbed up. Number 3, Tiny Dancer.
All the clothes are tiny dancer. Count the headlights on the highway. Baby darling, she's so blended.
Number 2, Rocket Man.
I'm not the man that think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. I'm a rocket man, burning out the fuse out every home.
Number 1, Benny and the Jets.
She's got a leg boots, I'm more health food. You know I'm better than a magazine. No, Benny and the Jets.
Hear more from Elton John and similar artists now. Search for Elton John on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Elton John to reflect on a day in the life of writing and producing the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album in France.
We all stayed at the Shadow in bedrooms, along with my producer, Gus Dudgeon, and Bernie, who wrote the lyrics. And I used to get up, and same time as Bernie, I went down to breakfast. Bernie would be typing, not Bernie Taupin, and he would give me a lyric. And I would have my breakfast, and I would have a croissant, and wander over to the electric piano. We had our instruments set up around the breakfast table, a guitar amp, a bass amp, and a drum kit, and the electric piano, and a mic. And I would sit down and write a song to those lyrics. Hence, then, could I wake the band up, because I'd be playing and singing, and they'd come down and having their breakfast, or even before they started, they would join in, and we would write the song straight away. after we'd finish, we'd go straight over to the other side. Maybe we write 2, but mostly 1. Start the day off with a song and go off to the other side of the courtyard to the studio and record the song and then write in the studio.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Elton John and all your favorite artists.
It's Game Radio Network, D.N.D, Doug Russell, Nick Bruzewitz, Dave Gasper. Article written by Pete Doherty and Eric Baranzak in PackersNews.com. I got it out the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. I'll send it to you guys as well. Now, without Micah Parsons, the Packers may turn Edgerrin Cooper loose. I'll just read a couple of excerpts and get your initial thoughts on this. Hafley still has Edgerrin Cooper, a star in the making whose explosiveness as a blitzer made him the Packers' most dangerous pass rusher at the end of last season. Cooper's role changed with Parsons' arrival because Hafley could get pressure rushing 4. But with Parsons no longer available to terrorize quarterbacks and offensive coordinators, and with a weak inside rush minus Devontae Wyatt, Hafley doesn't have much choice. He'll have to build his game plans around selectively blitzing Cooper along with linebacker Quay Walker and safeties Evan Williams and Xavier McKinney. Hafley, in fact, turned in that direction after Parsons' injury late in the third quarter. He blitzed 5 times over the final 15 minutes and 9 seconds of the game. For what it's worth, Bo Nix went 2 for 5 for 35 yards on those 5 blitzes. Unlike Cooper, safeties and even the nickelback as rushers will put more pressure on the Packers' coverage defenders, especially cornerbacks Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine. Hafley runs a zone-heavy scheme, but if he blitzes more, he'll have to play more man-to-man than he has to date. Valentine has allowed a passer rating of 106.4, according to Pro Football Reference, mainly because he's given up 4 touchdown passes and has no interceptions. So, boys, there's a plan. Exactly what that plan is going to manifest itself on the field. I mean, you can turn Edgerrin Cooper loose. You can turn him into a superstar. And I think that he's on the cusp of becoming a superstar, but we haven't heard his name as nearly as much this year as we have last year, simply because Micah Parsons takes up a lot of the air in the room.
Good news is that last year the Packers were a pretty good football team, and they didn't have Micah Parsons. But
they did have Kenny Clark stuff in the run.
And Devontae Wyatt.
You can scheme to stop the run. Certainly, you're hoping that these guys are all injured who are maybe going to be eligible to play down the stretch. Brenton Cox, Colin Oliver making his debut. I mean, like, these are guys that you can attempt to Band-Aid the issue. I think that the Packers defense can be fine, right? Like, I don't think they're going to fall off a cliff. My question would be, they need to be equally, if not even more offensively than what they're losing defensively, right? Let's say they lose, 10% of production defensively, right? They need to up their offense at minimum, that equal amount. Like, they need to maintain the level of play in terms of complementary football that they've established this year. It's going to fall on Jordan Love. It's going to fall on that offensive side of the ball to pick up where maybe the defense falls off. But I don't think that this is going to be like a terrible unit. I don't think that the defense and Jeff Hafley are going to suddenly just not be good. But it's gonna lend towards more pressure, more emphasis on making sure Rashawn Gary gets home when LVN gets back. Like, these are guys that are going to need to be productive, and Edgerrin Cooper might be the most gifted player left on that defense. And if he's going to take a step up in year 2, this would be a hell of a time to do so. The final stretch of the regular season.
Yeah, I think they're going to need him too, and have him blitz more as they talked about, and as Hafley did, because. Yeah, you need that pass rush because your secondary has been getting burned quite a bit there, as you mentioned with Valentine, not being able to get any picks, not being able to stop the touchdowns. So they're going to need Cooper to really kind of be that star, because that we were all expecting him to be coming into the season, taking that leap. And I agree with Nick too. I mean, the offense is going to have to step up a little bit more as well with the extra pressure, because the defense isn't going to be able to be quite as good. And, sometimes the best defense is a really good offense. So being able to stay ahead of teams is going to be like getting out in front early, being able to keep pace and stay ahead.
And what you're going to see over the next 3 days, or 3 games, not 3 days, 3 games, is Jeff Hafley really finalizing his head coaching resume, right? Because I've said for a couple of years that you look at his career, he's checked all of the boxes. He's been a head coach at the high college level at Boston College. He's been an NFL coach. He's been a coordinator. He's been a positions coach. He's a good communicator. All of these things are what NFL teams are looking for in their next head coach. He's youngish, not young, but he's youngish. He's energetic, smart, and guys love playing for him. So if you're the New York Giants specifically, they've got an open. It's just such a natural for him because he grew up, in the shadows of the Meadowlands, not the Meadowlands.
Yeah. Had to clarify.
That's right. Meadowlands sounds cooler.
It with an
L.
Does it? Yeah, it does sound cooler, but it's meadow.
We just need to get AC/DC or Metallica to play there, and then when they play there, it'll be the Metal Lands.
Yeah. And maybe they've made that connection as well.
Maybe they have.
I mean, just that's the natural, but there'll be other openings as well. And I think that he's going to be an NFL head coach. If he can scheme the Packers to, knock on wood, 3 straight wins to end the season without Micah Parsons, I think you're making yourself into someone who other teams are going to say, you know what, we've got an opening. This is our guy.
Yeah. That is if some teams do have the brains to make that choice. Now the Giants have not exactly made all the greatest decisions in their history, so that is something to keep in mind. But I think we were all worried about it, earlier on in the season about Jeff Hafley, being able to be that head coach and. Going elsewhere. And, it does kind of leave you concerned about where that Packers defense might end up going once he does leave, because for the longest time, we've been begging for a top 10 defense here in Green Bay. And, you've had the issues with Joe Barry and all the other defensive coordinators over the years, and basically them catching all of the flack from the fan base. So to finally have one that is actually getting praise from the fan base, from everyone, it's like, oh my goodness. And then to lose them almost right away, just be terrible.
It would be.
Well, that's the problem, right? I mean, that's just the problem, right? If you want to have a good defensive coordinator, you have to be comfortable with recognizing that in all likelihood, he's going to leave to become a head coach.
That's you want, though. I mean, you look at that first coaching staff that Mike Holmgren put together when he got hired as Packers head coach. You know how many head coaches, future head coach, Andy Reid was on that staff. Steve Mariucci was on that staff. Dick Geron, John Gruden, Ray Rhodes. They were all on that staff. That was one of the most epic coaching staffs in NFL history. But you want that.
Yeah.
I mean, Andy Reid became an NFL coach in Green Bay. Not an NFL head coach, but an NFL coach in Green Bay. All right, 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. It's the 3-hour Tuesday edition of D.N.D. Dave's got an update coming up here in just a second. Stay with us on the game.
You are listening to D.N.D. with Doug, Nick, and Dave.
This pains me to say this, but Dave's right.
Hey, why does that pain you to say? I'm right quite a bit, I think.
Middays here on the game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1975.
In June of 75, the Bee Gees released the LP Main Course, featuring a more dance-oriented sound, and delivered 3 hit singles, including the number 1 Jive Talkin'. In July, Fleetwood Mac shake things up. They add Americans Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks to the lineup and have a number 1 album. And Wings released the album Venus and Mars, which goes to number 1. Their U.S. tour features Paul McCartney's first live appearance in the U.S. since 1966.
I love is fine for all we know. For all we know, our love will grow. That's what the man said. So won't you listen to what the man said? He said.
In August of 75, the Eagles' 4th album goes to number 1 and has 3 top 5 singles, including the number 1 title track, One of These Nights. And the boss, Bruce Springsteen, is featured on the cover of Time magazine, and Born to Run becomes his breakthrough album, reaching number 3 in the U.S.
Come on with me, chance like us. Baby, we were born to run.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1975. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1967.
Try to set the night on
In January of 1967, Los Angeles band The Doors released their debut album, which eventually goes to number 2, and features the single Light My Fire, which goes to number 1 in July. The Rolling Stones released Ruby Tuesday, an ode to a groupie written by Keith Richards. The song takes them to number 1 in the U.S. in March. And San Francisco band The Jefferson Airplane released the surrealistic Pillow album, scoring 2 top 10 hits with White Rabbit and Somebody to Love.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love.
In March of 67, Buffalo Springfield re-releases their debut album to include the hit single For What It's Worth. In April of 67, Give Me Some Lovin' by the Spencer Davis Group goes to number 7 in the U.S., with vocals by 17-year-old Steve Winwood. And in May, Elvis Presley marries his 21-year-old girlfriend Priscilla in Las Vegas. In May, Mitch Ryder hits number 4 with Devil with a Blue Dress, Good Golly Miss Molly. And the Jimi Hendrix Experience released their debut in the UK. In July, they toured the U.S. as the opening act for the Monkees in support of the U.S. album release.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1967 coming up.
iHeartRadio.
Here are the top Queen songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, We Are the Champions.
We are the champions of the world.
Number 2, We Will Rock You.
You got mud on your face, big disgrace. Somebody better put your bag into your place. We will rock you. Sing it. We will rock you.
Number 1, Another One Bites the Dust.
Another one bites the dust, and another one gone, and another one gone, another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust.
Hear more from Queen and similar artists now. Search for Queen on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Classic Cuts.
Artists aren't always the best judge of commercial potential. Tom Johnson of the Doobie Brothers didn't think Long Train Running was even worth recording. In 1973, it became a top 10 single.
That used to be called Rosie Pig Mosley, and we played it for a long time. And before we were signed, we had that song together. We didn't have the words, and I ended up writing the words that are on the record after we cut the track for the album. We didn't even put it on the first and second album. It went on until the third one. I didn't think it was worth recording at the time. I really didn't. I thought it was just too simple and so what. And Teddy thought it was a good song. He says, come on, man, it's a good song. Let's record it. Now, surprisingly enough, everybody really liked it. It's not that I didn't like the song. I just didn't think it was anything outstanding. But what do I know?
Attention, please. We are the gang and the home of D.N.D. with Doug, Nick, and Dave. Weekdays from 10 to 2, live 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Watch the show on YouTube, Facebook, and X by searching 97.3 The Gang.
He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Dave Gasper.
Patrick Mahomes underwent surgery for his torn ACL yesterday. He's going to begin his rehab immediately. He's expecting an early September return next year, as is Mike Parsons. He hasn't undergone surgery yet, from what we've heard, but he also tweeted out yesterday a picture of a lion with a scar across its eye.
Yeah.
With the caption, September.
Oh.
So,
I mean, we'll find. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
They just haven't said anything yet. They haven't made a roster move yet.
But it's going to happen.
Come on. What are you waiting for? Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing with these surgeries is typically they wait a week or two, maybe even up to a month because of swelling, because of different things, because of XYZ. Mahomes doing it urgently has led to some theories online. internet doctor, Dr. David Chow, formerly with the Chargers medical staff, speculated that there was other damages, including LCL damage, which would lead to the urgency of undergoing the surgery immediately. Could complicate things for Patrick moving forward.
Yeah, according to the report here, the LCL was also torn in his left
Well, there we
knee
go.
from Mahomes. So
Dr. David Chow was right. Now he's 1-1. Stabbed Tyrod Taylor's
There you
lung,
go.
but he did get this one right.
Yeah, this is interesting, though. The surgery was performed by Dr. Dan Cooper, the Dallas Cowboys team physician.
Yeah, when it comes to that
Performed
stuff, that happens all the time. Dr.
Yeah.
Frank Jobe was the Dodgers team doctor, and he did all those early, elbow
Dr.
surgeries.
David Andrews.
Dr. David Andrews is another one.
Yeah.
James Andrews, I think. Dr. James Andrews.
James Andrews, yeah.
Who's Dr. David Andrews?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Lucky guy just got a shout out.
But is there a Dr. Dave Andrews out there? I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is.
yes.
David
Common
Andrews
name.
seems like a common enough name.
He's a
yeah.
renowned neurosurgeon at Jefferson Health in Philadelphia, specializing in brain tumors.
Okay.
And big words I won't try and say.
All
There
right.
you go. Okay.
So,
yeah.
I mean, but when it comes to medicine and things like that, it doesn't matter what your team doctor is. You're just going to go to the best one it is, and that's just who. It doesn't matter if you're because if you're the doctor, like say for example, if you are the Dodgers team physician or the Brewers team physician or whomever,
Dr. Rosh.
Yeah, if you're Dr. William Rosh, for example, you're paid by the Brewers, but not exclusively by the Brewers.
Right.
Dr. Rosh has other clients.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Carol Vetter, who is the Bucks team orthopedist. She looked at my knee.
There you
Really?
go.
Yeah.
Sister of Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you are
how about
absolutely.
This?
I don't know.
Dr. David
Probably not.
W. Andrews, PA, does internal medicine in Greenfield, Wisconsin.
Hey.
So there is
There
a
we go.
possibility that the Dr. David
down the
W.
road.
Andrews
Right
is
down the road.
listening to us right now.
And could walk
as I
to our
accidentally
studios.
shout him out.
Wow. Yeah, pop in, Dr. Andrews, please.
Yeah, we need some expertise on this.
Yeah, we do. But so we got to wait till September to see both Mahomes and Mike Parsons next year. But we probably won't have to wait that long to see Alan Lazard, who has requested his release from the New York Jets. He has been granted his release. And my only question is how long until he joins the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, they got to cut somebody. So, Nick, you're our resident Steelers fan.
Yeah.
Who do they need to release to make room for Alan Lazard as he continues to traipse around the country and the National Football League following Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I think that the offensive line is hopefully getting healthier soon, so they'd probably have some guys that they've elevated in recent weeks to drop down. That wide receiver group is really interesting right now. I mean, a couple years ago they drafted Roman Wilson. He's a no impact guy at this moment. Calvin Austin barely even relevant anymore. But Adam Thielen and MVS guys they've added in recent weeks.
Yeah, there you
You know
go.
why? It's
Stepping up.
because Aaron loves his old guys.
Yep.
Aaron,
Get
the older-
him MVS and Alan Lazard on the same side of the field.
Baby,
and
we're running it back.
run it back.
Where's Big Dog? Where's Mercedes Lewis?
He's out in Denver still.
Well, maybe he can ask for his release too.
Yeah,
Probably.
get him over here. I mean, you got
Steelers do need
what
a
is it,
fifth tight end.
What is it, Darnell Washington? Just a behemoth of a man.
He is, he's incredible. Darnell Washington, a tight end, 6'8", well over 300 pounds. They also have Pat Fryermuth. They also have Jonnu Smith, and they also have Cam Hayward's younger brother, Connor Hayward, who runs the tush push equivalent in Pittsburgh. Last night he got a touchdown.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll see if they end up making the move, but I would have to imagine that's where Lazard wants to go. Is Pittsburgh there? Jameer Latimer, Badgers defensive back, is hitting the transfer portal. Another Badger hitting the portal. His brother Amari was committed to Wisconsin, and then ultimately on signing day ended up signing with West Virginia. So now Jameer is no longer going to be in Madison either.
Not a fan of the transfer portal. Like we talked about on yesterday's show, the transfer portal, I don't care about players getting paid, but I know that's a big part of it. It's a huge part of the equation why guys are hitting the transfer portal. But more than anything else, it's that damn transfer portal that is really eroding the fan bases of these teams because you can't identify with anybody. And these student athletes, they're not there for anything other than the paycheck. They're not there for the logo on the helmet. They're there for what goes into the bank account. And that's because the NCAA has created this problem. And I don't blame the kids.
Yeah.
I blame the system that has led to this. And that lays right at the feet of the NCAA.
It would be really hard to see a future at which Jameer Latimer remained here after what transpired with his younger brother. So this one was well expected that Jameer would leave. I think if I were able to bet on it, or if I were a betting man, I'm really not. I'd put money on West Virginia being his next destination. Ending up where his brother ended up.
Yeah, I would too. And tonight, NBA Cup Championship, Spurs and Knicks. How psyched are we?
Must-watch TV.
Trying to come up with a name for whatever Pittsburgh push, instead of the tush push, is it like the Steeler shove or something like that? I don't know. That's when you bring up the NBA Cup. That's like, oh, that's still a thing. When the Bucks aren't in it, well, they were a year ago. They got to hang a bed sheet and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Who's in it again? The
Spurs and the Knicks. Okay. So
okay. And I hope it gets all the pageantry that it deserves.
That's not saying much.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's not. Listen, the Bucks.
My psych level is very low.
If you can see me on the stream right now, I'm air quote. The Bucks won a championship last year that nobody gives a flying rip about.
Yeah. Didn't I see somewhere like over the summer, like Giannis listed like the NBA Cup among his like top 5 like NBA?
Glad it means something to him.
But
it meant something to him, Well,
good. I'm glad it did.
I'm not familiar with European basketball and how their seasons are organized, but maybe they have mid-season trophies, tournaments, and it might be more relevant to him than it is to some of the more North American players, whether that's SGA from Canada or U.S. players. I do not care. I'm happy that the Thunder didn't win it, because I think that had they gone the whole way, set the record for wins in a regular season, won the NBA Cup, won the NBA Finals, you'd just be like, I'm sick of the Thunder. And I don't want to be sick of them yet. And as a sports socialist, I will get to that point. But right now, I'm not at that point because they've only won one in a row. And you got my wheels turning on the Steelers thing, tush-push thing, the steel curtain. That was defense, though.
Yeah.
Right. The steel pushing. I mean, come on.
Like the steel cushion, but the steel pushing.
Push in. They're pushing him in into the end zone. The steel push
How about the Pittsburgh push in?
Pittsburgh pushing.
You need better alliteration. The Pittsburgh push in. Ooh.
Let's see if that's on Urban Dictionary though. Before we do that too much.
Oh, yikes! I hope not.
You never know. I don't know. I mean, listen, there's stuff on the Urban Dictionary that.
Okay, we're good. The Pittsburgh push up is on there, but not the Pittsburgh push
what's
in.
That one about?
I'm not.
Can you describe it?
Not on the air.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, let me.
I think everybody that's listening right now is going to Google it. The Pittsburgh push
up.
That's.
Okay. The Pittsburgh.
You guys are all going to regret having Googled this.
No, I don't see it on Urban Dictionary, but
I'm fine. I got it right now. I'm trying to find ways to wrap my head around how I can describe it without describing.
Let's not. Let's just leave people to their own imagination with this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's Nick.
No.
Let's not.
No.
Let's not.
It's
let's just say
everyone at home has Googled themselves. They can look this up if they really want to.
There's I mean
after going mudding.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. There's no way we can describe this on the air.
Yeah, no chance.
Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance.
So if you're at all interested in what
you're going to have to let your fingers do the walking yourselves, because absolutely not. We are not describing this on the air.
Yeah, no, you got to Google that yourself.
Wow.
So anyways, yeah, so
it's stuff that you didn't know was a thing until somebody came up. But the thing is, somebody had to come up with this.
Exactly.
How are you the first one to come up with this?
That's a lot of creativity. I don't know.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Congrats to
You can get a mug
Bitman.
with the name on it, but
Bitman.
And I've never heard. And I'm pleading in your. I have never heard of this before. So
neither have I.
maybe
It just sounded like the Pittsburgh push-in. It sounded like something that would be on Urban Dictionary, as you know.
No, it's a good call on your part.
Yeah,
It's a good call on your
That's
part.
right.
So maybe we don't do the Pittsburgh push in
yeah.
because that's.
Although again, this is the Pittsburgh push up, so the push in is still available.
That's
My
right.
God, I
That's
can't
just
believe,
too close, I
I
guess.
cannot believe somebody came up with this and then put it on the internet. But this is the
internet.
This is the world we live in.
Not on Al Gore's internet. How dare they? But
right. Let's see. Mailman Jeff and Madison, the Steeler shove. Is that on Urban Dictionary? The Steeler shove.
Maybe. Let's see.
I
Nope,
hope
nothing
not.
on Steeler shove on
All
there.
right. Maybe we have that. Maybe we can use that.
Steeler
The
shove.
Steeler shove.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
Nick, the resident Steelers fan, is just kind of saying it lacks
Well,
creativity.
it's like the brotherly shove, which they tried to use instead of tush push, right?
Right,
I
but
mean,
brotherly
it's-
shove is because the Pittsburgh or Philadelphia is the city of brotherly love.
I know.
Yeah.
So the brotherly shove.
Yeah. It made
that
sense.
works well.
Yeah.
So we just got to figure out.
Just like the Tucker Craft one is the cheese squeeze, you know.
Yeah. See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll keep
the Kraft mac and cheese squeeze.
We have to keep workshopping this. I think is what we're saying.
Yeah, I
That's
think
right.
so. There's plenty of ideas to work with there.
Okay. Did we hit everything?
Yes, we did.
Coming up on tomorrow's show, I just confirmed it with her. I know you guys don't watch Survivor. I don't know if you watch any reality TV. Andrea Belke is going to join us in studio tomorrow. She's a 3-time Survivor contestant. The Survivor finale is tomorrow. Yes, I still watch that show. Sometimes I swear at the television while watching it, but it is still entertaining to me. She'll have a Survivor finale party downtown. I think it's at the Wicked Hop tomorrow evening for that, and then Survivor 50, the 50th season of Survivor's coming up in February.
So they do 2 seasons a year, right?
Yes. So they started it 25 years ago. They started it in 2000, and one of the original contestants lives in Brookfield, Wisconsin.
There we go.
Joel Klug.
Joel Klug.
Attaboy Joel.
Lives in Brookfield. And he tells some wild stories because that first season, they were,
they didn't know what they were doing.
They didn't know what they were doing yet, but they were worldwide celebrities. Now, you guys aren't old enough to remember it. Nick wasn't even born yet. I don't think you were born yet. What year were you born in? 2000, 2001?
2000.
Okay. So, but it was in the summer of 2000, so you weren't born yet. They were as famous as you could. It's hard to put into words how famous these guys were. I mean, the Survivor finale, I don't have the number in front of me, tens of millions of people watched it. That first Survivor finale in the summer of 2000. So Andrew's played 3 times. She's been an entertainment reporter. She hosts a podcast with our Eric Paulson, or he's part of it, the Cabin Podcast for Discover Wisconsin. Local host. She's on the Morning Blend on Channel 4. She's going to pop in tomorrow. So
The lore is crazy here. The first year's winner is in prison.
Well, was in prison. Is he still in prison? I know he didn't pay his taxes. So remember when
that's it.
Remember when? Yeah, no, it's nothing that untoward.
Richard Hatch.
Yep. And so that's when we're talking about if you could win the $1.25 billion in the lottery. That's why I say Uncle Sam's going to take his share, about half of that. Richard didn't necessarily think that Uncle Sam was going to take his half.
Yeah, he served 51 months. He was released in 2009. So he was in there for 4 years.
Yeah,
that's a long time. Some Steelers fans have tagged the play as the Steel City Squeeze, the Terrible Prowl. Those are the 2 that I have seen in like fan accounts online.
The Terrible Prowl,
as in the terrible towel.
No, yeah, I got it.
The prowl.
I think it's got to grow on me a little bit.
Yeah.
The Terrible Prowl.
I'm sure that one is on Urban Dictionary, and I don't need to see that. So.
Perhaps.
No thanks.
Perhaps. All right. Still to come in this hour, we're going to check in with Patrick Herb from the Wisconsin Sports Information Department, and they've got a lot to talk about. The Wisconsin volleyball team, they are headed to today. I don't know if they've left yet. I don't know if they've left the airport or for the airport, probably heading down to Kansas City for the Final Four. Starts on Thursday night. It's approximately 8:00. in Kansas City. They will take on Kentucky, the number 1 seed. The Badgers, the number 3 seed. But they've already pulled off a couple of upsets. They pulled off the upset against Stanford. They pulled off the upset against Texas. We'll talk about that with Patrick Herb coming up in just a few minutes as well. And also, how snake bitten do you feel as a Wisconsin sports fan? Everybody's kind of licking their chops after the Micah Parsons injury on Sunday against the Broncos, because that sucked. Man, they went from a Super Bowl contender to, it's still a good team.
Yeah.
Within the span of like the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Within 15 minutes. It was just, season's over.
I mean, within one play, it's like, you heard the highlight from Wayne Larrivee. He's like, oh no. Oh no. Because pop. It just pops and you're done.
Yeah. I mean, you could also feel, too, that when Watson went out, that the momentum of that game changed, and we were all thinking that Watson was going to be out for a long time as well.
It looked like a broken collarbone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you lose him, you think potentially for the year, and then Parsons, it's like,
But you lose Jordan. Listen, even if you lose Jordan Love, God forbid, nobody wants to lose Jordan Love, but we've seen Malik Willis, and Malik Willis is a pretty darn good backup quarterback. He might be starting. He could start for 10 teams in the NFL right now.
Maybe an exaggeration, but yes.
Oh, he could start for the Jets.
Honestly, Nick, I don't think it is.
10 teams?
I think it's because he could start for 10 teams.
5, maybe.
Well, it only takes one, as they say.
He wasn't good without Matt LaFleur. Let's just keep that in mind. I mean, he was not a good player without being in a perfect system for him.
I mean, you could say that about any quarterback.
You don't think he could start in New York right now? Cleveland?
I don't think so. I think Jackson Dart's better.
The Jets.
Cleveland.
The Jets.
Jets, Cleveland. Yes. Probably in Tennessee. I don't think Cam Ward's good enough yet.
You think he could start over Phillip Rivers right now?
Indianapolis?
Yes.
Raiders?
Yes.
Okay, that's 5 already right there. Commanders over Mariota?
Well, that's injury specific.
That's Jaden Daniels' team.
Okay, so, Minnesota Vikings over JJ McCarthy? No.
9's good. Look how good he is. 9's good.
New Orleans Saints?
He's going to be rookie of the year. Shuck's going to be the rookie of the year. So no, I don't think so. He's been good.
Cardinals?
You can start for the Cardinals. They are done with Kyler Murray.
I mean, if you want to give it to him, but
loud.
I think Brissett's been pretty good. The problem is not necessarily the quarterback play currently. But
for a number of teams, somewhere between 5 and 10.
He could start for other teams. I think the Packers wouldn't make the playoffs if he was starting these last 3 games, though. So I don't know if he's good enough.
He could have started for the Bengals when Joe Burrow was still out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, injuries, I mean, he's one of the better backups in the league. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Well, I'll take that.
There you go.
Concession. But the one guy that they couldn't, besides Jordan Love, that they couldn't afford to put on the shelf, that's where he's living right now.
Yep.
That's where he's living right now. All right. Patrick Herb coming up in just a few minutes. Also, how snake bitten are Wisconsin sports fans. We'll discuss coming up. It's D.N.D, Doug, Nick, and Dave. Stay with us on the game.
Want to watch D.N.D? They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
There you go.
There we go.
Just search 97.3 The Game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1967.
Van Morrison, formerly of the band Them, has a number 10 hit as a solo artist with Brown Eyed Girl. In July, LA band The Grassroots scored their first top 10 hit with Let's Live for Today. And UK supergroup Cream, featuring guitarist Eric Clapton, toured the US for the first time.
In the sunshine of your
And in September, Janis Joplin's band Big Brother and the Holding Company signed with Columbia Records and released their debut album. October of '67, Memphis band The Box Tops, including 17-year-old gravel voice singer Alex Chilton, have a number 1 hit with The Letter.
Yeah, ticket for an aeroplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm a going home. My baby used to whip me a leather. My baby used to whip me a leather.
And in November, the first issue of Rolling Stone magazine is published in San Francisco, featuring an interview with John Lennon. The Who have their first and only U.S. top 10 hit with I Can See for Miles. In December, they smashed their instruments on the Smothers Brothers TV show.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1967 coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1974.
Oh, the band on the run. Band on the run.
In January of 1974, the top-selling album of the year is released, Paul McCartney and Wings' Band on the Run. Bob Dylan, backed by the band, has his first #1 album with Planet Waves. In February, Jersey City's Kool and the Gang have a top 5 hit with Jungle Boogie. New York City's Kiss released their debut, which sold 75,000 copies without a hit single. In March of 74, Canadian band Rush released their debut album, Get a New Drummer, and go on their first U.S. tour. David Essex has the first of many top 10 hits in the UK and his only U.S. hit with the single Rock On, which goes to number 5. And Steely Dan hit the top 5 with the single Ricky Don't Lose That Number and have a top 10 album too with Pretzel Logic.
Ricky, don't lose that number. It's the only one you want. You might use it if you feel better when you get home.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1974 coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1977.
In February of 77, 60s band leader Manfred Mann has a new band and scores a U.S. #1 hit with a cover of Bruce Springsteen's song Blinded by the Light. In March, Foreigner released their debut album. It goes to number 4 in the U.S., driven by 2 top 10 singles, Cold as Ice and Feels Like the First Time. Philadelphia blue-eyed soul duo Hall & Oates have their first U.S. #1 with Rich Girl from their 5th album, Bigger Than the Both of Us.
You're a rich girl, and you're going too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money.
Fleetwood Mac's album Rumors is released. It's their second #1 album in a row in the U.S., dominating the charts at #1 for 31 weeks. It spawns 4 top 10 singles, including the #1 Dreams.
When the rain washes you clean, you know.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1977 coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Rick Springfield to get some insight on his latest release, Rocket Science.
It's a guitar-based record for sure, and I love big hooks, and not a country record at all. It's a rock and roll record, but it does have some country elements.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from Rick Springfield and all your favorite artists.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. Soundtrack. Flashback.
Do you feel the need for speed? 1986's Top Gun thrilled moviegoers and gave us an equally epic soundtrack. Winning an Academy Award for Best Original Song was Take My Breath Away from Berlin.
For more great movie soundtrack hits, check out Popcorn Radio on the iHeartRadio app.
It's D.N.D, Doug, Nick, and Dave here on the Game Radio Network, the NicoletLaw.com talking text line. Always open to you at 877-794-1973, Ted in the 920. Susan Hawk from Waukesha was on the first Survivor. She was. She had one of the more famous lines to Kelly Wigglesworth about being a rat. And so Susan Hawk.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Survivor used to be nasty, but it was fun.
These
It was
sound,
great.
and I'm no disrespect, like fictional characters. What did you just say? Wigglesby?
Wigglesworth. Kelly Wigglesworth.
Is she on the Wiggles?
No. But, I mean, these are just the people that we watched in the summer of 2000. How many people, you pulled up the Wikipedia page, obviously. How many people watched that Survivor Season 1 finale on CBS?
1 sec.
All right.
Second.
Susan Hawk, then she moved to Las Vegas, so she's not in Waukesha anymore. Erin Lobdell was also from Waukesha, and she played in Tocantins.
51 million people, making it one of the most watched telecasts that year, cementing reality TV's mainstream appeal. With the final jury vote segment alone, captivating nearly 58 million people.
And who came in second? And who came in second place behind Richard Hatch?
You did.
No. Kelly Wigglesworth.
Wigglesworth. How could I forget?
That's what I'm saying. I did not play.
No.
Survivor.
Have you ever wanted to?
I did for a while, but now I'm the old guy. I get voted out first.
Oh, yeah.
So 15 years ago, sure.
Yeah.
But now they get the old guys first.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because it's a young person's game.
Yeah. You got to survive.
We can ask Andrea tomorrow. I mean, I've asked her, do you want to play again? She's like, she keeps hemming and hawing. Because when she first played, I think she was like 22.
Yeah.
And now she's in her mid-30s. So she's like, I don't know if I want to anymore.
Yeah. Should Nick or I play?
Yes. Well, Nick,
no thanks.
I think you'd be interesting on it, Dave. Nick would be, because there's a food situation there, and then
it'd be real troublesome with IBS. Yes, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, geez,
having a spot of that myself from time to time.
Oh, goodness!
Vote that guy off. Oh, come on, guys!
Vote that guy off.
I can't control it.
Yeah,
I do this when I get nervous.
Right. Well, although they do have somebody who's on the season right now who has a minor issue with that though too.
No, I mean it happens. I mean business. I mean it happens.
It does.
Duty calls sometimes.
So that's why
Dave would be good.
Yeah, that's
Dave
why I think that Nick might
tall.
struggle. That's all.
Okay,
he's tall. He's resourceful.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be valuable. You'd want to keep him around.
You got to get along with people.
Okay, I think I can do that.
You can do that. I think Nick. I think you would be really good on it, except for the whole IBS
eating thing.
Yeah,
I will forget what I've said to people, and that's a huge part of the strategy is the mind games.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Your short-term memory loss is really going to.
I will double cross myself. It'll be like,
and I voted myself off the island.
Let's just make believe names. You're Mike and Susan. These are just random names. I'm just naming people. I'd tell Susan, I'd be like, Mike just said this about you, and then I go back to that, and then I would do it again the next day,
and then you get voted off for being a double crosser. Because that's what
I'd be
happens
done
to double
immediately.
crossers.
Yeah,
I'd be done immediately. It's an interesting concept. I've never watched the show at all, ever.
Okay.
Like not even a minute.
What reality show do we think Nick would be good for?
Wouldn't be The Amazing Race because he hasn't traveled enough.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
certainly not that.
I mean,
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. That's me.
I don't know which. I think I would be good on The Amazing Race. That's one that I think I do okay in. I've done some traveling.
Okay.
I don't think I'd be good on. Let's see. You guys have girlfriends, so probably Love Island wouldn't be good for you. Love Is Blind probably wouldn't be good for you.
Probably
No,
not. I think Nick would be unavailable for that one.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else. Most reality shows now have that component to it, like The Bachelor has that component to it.
Oh,
Dancing with the Stars.
Nick, you'd be great for RuPaul's Drag Race.
Work it. As long as I'm not a contestant, if I'm a judge.
Well, no, I think we're talking about being contestants.
Yeah, that's
probably not great. I probably wouldn't be great. I would be one and done, I guess.
What about you though, Dave? I mean, you're tall. You've danced. I mean, you danced so hard one time you split your pants at a wedding.
Yes. But that doesn't mean I'm actually good at dancing.
It means you dance like no one's watching, and that's 90% of it right there.
Yeah, the other part is like rhythm, and like I don't really have much of that, so that makes it tough for any of the dancing type.
So no Dancing
shows.
with the Stars or anything like that.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
I would love to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Can you dance, Nick?
If you're paired with one of them, you become a good dancer. That's
true.
The thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they all. First and foremost, likable is number one. You have to be likable.
Yeah, you're likable.
People vote for you.
Yeah.
You got that.
And
so
number two,
there's one
it's
check
like
mark.
Sometimes people judge it based off of progress. And if I'm terrible to start and become competent by the end, that'd be a fun one to be on.
Okay.
Is it cake? I could be on that. And I would just be
do you bake cake?
No, but again, I could just be there.
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
there you go.
Do I have to be do I have to actually be in the competition, or can I find a way to
I mean,
be a
that's
part of
that's the
judging
point
panel?
of what we're talking about.
You know
here.
what I could be on? I could be on the traders.
Ooh, okay. You're going to be a trader?
I would like to be. I would prefer to be a trader as opposed to a faithful. We just started watching that. I think.
Okay, I've got no idea the premise of the show. I just know trader sounds bad. So.
I like that show a lot more than my wife does. A lot more.
Okay.
She's like, there's nothing else on. Fine, just put on the stupid traders. I'm like, yes.
There you go.
That's what makes me happy. But if you've got any thoughts on what you think we would be good on
we may need to find a reality TV show to hop on.
So hit us
at some
up
point soon here. Temptation Island.
8777. Well, we'll have time on our hands. 877-794-1973. Again, 877-794-1973. Patrick Herb is waiting in the wings. We'll ask him if he could be on any reality show. What would it be? And I mean a contestant on a reality
Maybe
show.
Fear Factor.
Is that still a show?
Yeah, it's got Johnny Knoxville.
Like
a new version of Fear Factor.
That's what gave us Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
He was the first host back when it was on NBC 20 plus years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not do well on Fear Factor.
I don't think I would either.
Yeah.
Because, they're like dropping scorpions on you and stuff.
Yeah. Like I don't even want to watch horror movies because I don't want to be scared like that. So to have it actually happen in reality to me, no thanks.
Okay. All right. Patrick Herb's coming up straight ahead. We will ask him his thoughts on that. Oh, yeah. There's also a volleyball match that's happening on Thursday that has some significance to it as well. Stay with us. The number on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line 877-794-1973. We'll get back to business on the other side. Also, how snake bitten are Wisconsin sports fans? Are you rooting for Aaron Rodgers? What would you rather see, the Packers win or the Bears lose? I'm taking that one on the chin too. Sometimes, you have a premise and you just kind of take it on the chin.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm doing on this one because I think there's a lot of people who would rather see the Bears lose, but maybe not.
If we put it in a microscope just to this weekend, just Saturday, what would give you more satisfaction? The fact the Packers won or the fact that the Bears lost, right? I mean, that's kind of like the premise. I mean, everyone's happy the Packers won, but beating the Bears, does the fact that that's the team that lost mean more?
Okay.
And there's a couple of layers to that, though, too, because there's the standings layer is a huge part of it, I think.
Yeah. And there's just too much trouble. The Bears are too good. I mean, if they were bad, it would be okay, well, I mean.
You're not wrong. They're 10-4 for a reason. All right, Patrick Herb on the other side. Stay with us. It's Doug Russell, Nick Bruzowitz, Dave Gasper, D.N.D. on the Game Radio Network.
So let's take a chance and live this fantasy. 'Cause everybody needs to break free.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
D.N.D. will be back in just a moment.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1978.
In June of 78, Darkness on the Edge of Town is released. Bruce Springsteen's follow-up to his breakthrough album, Born to Run. The album charts at number 5.
In the darkness on the edge of town. In the darkness on the edge of town.
Boston-based band The Cars released their debut album. It goes to number 18. It features the singles Just What I Needed and My Best Friend's Girl.
She's my best friend's girl. But she used to be mine.
In July of 78, the Rolling Stones released Some Girls in the U.S. The album and the single Miss You both hit number 1. In August of 78, Boston released their sophomore album, Don't Look Back. The album goes to number 1 in the U.S., selling 4 million copies in its first month.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1978. Coming up.
Here are the top Fleetwood Mac songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Don't Stop. Number 2, Dreams. Number 1, Go Your Own Way. Hear more from Fleetwood Mac and similar artists now. Search for Fleetwood Mac on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Aretha Franklin songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. Number 2, Freeway of Love. Number 1, Respect. Hear more from Aretha Franklin and similar artists now. Search for Aretha Franklin on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Elton John to talk about performing live.
Going on stage was when I could show off and be comfortable. And you know, I was always a bit timid off stage. And the stage gave me an outlet. And you'll find that with many performers, whether they be dancers, actors, singers, musicians. They have the outlet on stage to become the person they're not off stage. And I think that's what eventually led to my troubles, along with the drugs and the drink, is that the person who was fast becoming popular as Elton John and becoming, you know, the number one rock star in the world had kind of escaped from the person off stage, and the balance was completely off kilter. And the more I became successful, the harder I worked, and the less time I concentrated on being normal or trying to be kind of normal. But people who knew me privately were shocked, I think, at what I was doing off stage. Rather, you know, they knew what I was going to do on stage. But off stage, they were shocked and disappointed.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Elton John and all your favorite artists.
Last tournament run. I mean, like I told you when we spoke earlier in practice, I refuse to lose. Sorry, guys, but I refuse. Yeah, I refuse, and this team refuses. And I think that's the mindset that we've had going through this tournament.
The immortal words of the great Carter Booth as the Badgers volleyball team advances to the Final Four. Joining us on the program right now, as he does at about this time each and every Tuesday, from the Wisconsin Sports Information Department, we welcome in Patrick Herb. Patrick, she said she was sorry. I don't think she was. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Make it a rally cry, I'd say. Put it on a t-shirt.
That's what they're doing. That's what you just slap that thing on a t-shirt. It's $1 million idea.
That's right. This is the NIL era. Let's get it going. No, you're right. I don't think she was sorry. It's funny if you watch the broadcast back after the interview, she runs right over to a teammate, and it looks pretty clear that she goes and just tells them, I just swore on the air, and they laugh. And then she runs over to Coach Sheffield, and I'm guessing that she says the same thing, and he laughs too. And so it was a pretty funny moment. And I love unvarnished sports, right? It's not rehearsed, it's not scripted, and true emotions come out like that. That was pretty fun. We were all feeling it, that's for sure.
Sports is the ultimate reality show, and we'll get to the business in just a second here, but we were kicking this around, and I wanted to ask you this question as we kind of let off. We were talking about reality TV. We've got somebody who's on Survivor a few times coming in on tomorrow's show. And is there a reality TV show that you would like to be a contestant on, or would have liked to have been a contestant on?
Wow, good question. I think the Amazing Race would be pretty awesome. Not only because you get to see all parts of the world, but the challenges seem fun and realistic. You know, like I wouldn't want to go on one of the ones where you have to like eat a scorpion. But the challenges seem fun. So I'd probably say the Amazing Race. That'd be pretty fun.
All right, very good. All right, let's get back to the business at hand. The Wisconsin women's volleyball team, or Wisconsin volleyball team, they are headed to Kansas City. Have they left? What's the mood of the team? Have you been around the team at all since they got back from Austin?
Yeah, leaving at 2:00 today, so really fast turnaround. They didn't get home till about 2 a.m. on Sunday night. So I've lived this world from a basketball standpoint. Sometimes when you make these runs where you come home, you wash your clothes, you put them back in the bag, and you leave again. And so. It's a whirlwind for them, and they practiced this morning, they practiced yesterday to try to stay sharp. But at this point of the season, you know, you're living on adrenaline in some ways, and I think that the tone of the team is, from my outsider lens, appears to be excited of what they've accomplished, but know that they belong there. If that makes sense, While yes, it was a surprise to the outside world that they won both of the matches down in Texas, over Stanford and Texas. I think that they knew that they could and knew that they belong in this Final Four, and I think that Charlie Furbringer brings such a presence to this team and such a quiet confidence, and it shows. They're 11-0 since she came back to the lineup, and by no means are they a one person show. You know, Mimi Collier is the one who's up for the National Player of the Year, and she's a killer. I mean, when they needed her most in that fourth set, she stepped up and close the door on Texas. But what Furbringer can bring from a confidence and a composure standpoint, I think is part of what has them feeling like, of course, they belong in the Final Four. And this is what we do at Wisconsin. You know, they've been 5 times in the last 7 years now, which is tied for the most of any program in the country. And it's the 6th time under Kelly Sheffield since 2013. He hasn't been here that long for them to already go 6 times. It's pretty impressive, and they feel like they've got a lot more left in front of them.
Patrick, when you look at Kelly Sheffield in particular, you've been certainly working alongside him for a series of years here, and he is quite the character, and his accomplishments are next to none over his tenure here at Wisconsin. Like, we talk a lot about Mark Johnson and how there is no doubt that there is an all-time great head coach here in that program, and I think Kelly's the same way.
I would agree. And you mentioned that he's quite a character. He is. He's one of my favorite people in this department. And I don't think people get to see his personality all that often. You watch him during matches, and he's quite stoic and doesn't emote a whole lot. Certainly doesn't bring out the sense of humor. I'm not sure how you would as a coach in the middle of a match, but getting him away from it, he's very down to earth. But also very witty and has a sense of humor that jives with me, that I really appreciate. I remember years ago, we had a podcast that ended because of COVID, but the format of the podcast here, it was a Badger podcast, was kind of long form interviews with athletes, coaches, etc. And one of my favorite ones we did was with Kelly Sheffield, and we probably spent a half hour talking to him, and very little of it was necessarily volleyball or his team. It was about life and his story. And I am also fascinated by his journey, that he never played volleyball. The first time he picked up a volleyball was after college, as kind of on a whim of helping out a friend at the youth level who was coaching a team. And he said, "Yeah, sure, that sounds kind of fun." And then he just got so involved and interested in the nuances of the game that he made himself into this brilliant mind in volleyball. And there's a saying in sports often that it's like you had to play it. You wouldn't know, you wouldn't relate if you weren't a player. You hear that sometimes in press conferences, et cetera. Media gets sometimes accused of that, of like, oh, you wouldn't know, you wouldn't play. And he's the great example of that's not always the case. You could be really intelligent and smart and gifted at a sport without having to have played it. And I find that really fascinating about him. And his track record is pretty hard to argue with.
Patrick, switching gears here a little bit to the football team. Eric Mateos joins the program now as the offensive line coach. This is, I believe, O-line coach number 5 in the last 6 years that the program has had. I know there's a lot of consternation about the Badgers offensive line this past year. What's kind of the sense with what Mateos will bring to this group and why he's the guy going forward?
Yeah, not enough continuity in that chair, as you just pointed out, and that's that is there's different circumstances for why there's been so much turnover. In this case, everybody really liked AJ Blodzik, and from a person standpoint, he's the departing offensive line coach who'd been here the last 2 years, and even on his way out, he was very gracious, and I'm pretty sure he'll land on his feet again soon. But this was an opportunity for Jeff Grimes to get the guy that he has worked with at 3 different stops. And if you go back and look historically at when Jeff Grimes has had his most successful offenses, Eric Mateos has been the guy orchestrating the line. And this is at BYU, at Baylor, and also even at LSU. They shared some time together. And so Mateos spent the last 2 seasons at Arkansas. Arkansas fired their coach. And Mateos has a really strong track record of working with really successful offenses, balanced, running and passing, but also developing dudes, like guys who you would know that are playing and starting in the NFL right now on several different teams. And that's a big piece of this too, of the player development. And then if you want to look at maybe the most telling thing about until they play football, you never really know how good of a hire this is. But one indication that I have found interesting is when schools make a hire and it gets announced, I don't like to spend much time in social media comments because I think it's kind of a vile place often.
Here.
But in the reaction to Mateos's hiring and that announcement, the comment section have been flooded with Arkansas fans who are disappointed. And so I think that's a pretty good tell that this is a good one. They were sorry to lose him. They felt like he was a piece that they wanted to keep. And it's going to be hopefully to Wisconsin's benefit because, as we all know, this place is built on the offensive line. We got an athletic director who was a former offensive lineman. He knows the value of it, and this is a position we have to get right. I don't think there's any way escaping that we have to get that position right. And like you said, there's been a lot of turnover in that spot, but hopefully this is the guy paired with the offensive coordinator that can unlock what we know the potential of that position at this school is.
Patrick Herb from the University of Wisconsin Athletics Department in their communications department. As far as men's basketball, got to flush that loss at Nebraska from last week. No better way to do that than to head over here to Milwaukee. You got Villanova coming up on Friday night at Fiserv Forum. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that Nebraska game was alarming, I guess, because of the just final score. Nebraska turned around and won at Illinois their next game. So that Husker team, as much as it hurts me to admit, might actually be pretty good. But you're right, Wisconsin's got to flush that one. And this game Friday sets up to be really important. I don't believe in the term must win unless it's actually a must win, like the volleyball team. They're in a must win situation.
Right, yeah.
On Thursday. Sure. So I don't believe in that term. However, there is a sliding scale of how important games are. And I would put this one against Villanova on the really important side. And I say that because Wisconsin has kind of missed out on most of its chances this non-conference to get a win that you'll hold up in March on their resume and say, well, yeah, that's a good one. That's a differentiator. That's a seed bump line, or that puts them in ahead of another bubble team. You know, the probably the 3 toughest games they've had, they've lost all 3 of those. So Marquette usually is one of the better games in a resume game. This year, I don't know that that's going to fall into that category. So now you're playing Villanova. This will count as a neutral game, even though we know it's going to be a really decidedly pro-Wisconsin crowd. But Villanova's 35th in KenPom, 35th in the net. So this will go down as a quad 1 opportunity for Wisconsin. And they've missed out on a couple of chances. This is really the last one of the non-con for them to get that kind of signature win. And that's why one of the reasons I think this game is really important for them. And in addition to just the idea of figuring out who you are, because I think that's still developing with this team, but getting a resume win, this is an opportunity. And there aren't other than this, there might not be any left in the non-con season. The Big Ten will be tough and have plenty of opportunities, but a non-con one, this is it.
Patrick, outside of sports, this is a time of year where a lot of kids accomplish such a great goal in life and they graduate from well-accredited university, but regardless, this is the time of year where kids are moving on with their lives and celebrating a rather substantial moment.
Yeah, the winter commencement is not as big of a attended one as spring, but from athletics side, there are a lot of students who graduate in December for a lot of reasons, particularly in football. So Wisconsin had 41 graduates over the weekend. 20 of them were from the football program. 20, and of those, 9 of them were getting master's degrees. And and it's names that we'd recognize and that we're proud of. Guys, Vinny Anthony and Owen Arnett, a Wisconsin guy, Kerry Kadonko, a Wisconsin guy, Riley Mallman, Mason Reiger, Jake Renfro. So even some of these guys who finished their degrees, started somewhere else, but finished their degrees here, that's a pretty good accomplishment and pretty good for the resume to have that on there. And this follows the trend. Wisconsin's been, I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago when the graduate success rate came out, that GSR. Wisconsin scored a 94% on successful graduate outcomes. And this is where that data pulls from of all the student athletes that get that degree. And this is in an era where we're transient in college athletics, and it's professionalizing, if that's a word, right before our eyes. Wisconsin does still play school around here a little bit, and Sunday was a good indication of that when 41 kids crossed the stage.
Without a doubt. Patrick, great stuff as always. We will certainly be watching the volleyball match on Thursday. Hope it leads to the national championship, but that'll be fun to see the Badgers men's basketball team play in Milwaukee for the second time this year. They played that first exhibition game against Oklahoma as well. We always appreciate the time and insights. Go ahead.
I was just to say, I know there's still tickets available for that Milwaukee game, and I hope some people can get some last 1 minute ones and check out the Badgers. It's really important for Wisconsin to play in Milwaukee. That's such an important market for the Badgers, and there's so many alums and fans there that I'm grateful that the team got to play there twice this season, the exhibition and this one, and I hope fans show up and enjoy the Badgers coming to their backyard. That's important, and I don't know that anybody wants to look ahead in volleyball, but if things go right over the next couple of days, maybe we all gather on Monday for a welcome home reception with the Big Daddy title, huh? What do you think?
I love it.
All right, so just keep your calendars open, I guess is all I'll say.
All right. I like that. I like that. I like the positivity. Patrick, great stuff. We'll talk to you next week.
Be well, guys.
All right, you too. There he goes. Patrick Herb from the Sports Information Department. Brand Communications, I think is what they call it at the University of Wisconsin.
He's got a very long-winded title.
It's too long. He's got Sports Information Director.
Yeah, Associate Athletic Director of Strategic Communications, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Or Sports Information. Yeah, it's
Sports Information Department.
Listen, I get it. I get it. But, we just like talking to him.
Yeah.
We just like having him on the show.
He knows a lot of stuff.
He knows a lot of stuff that's going on at the University of Wisconsin. That's why we like having him on the show. And yes, Monday, that would be great. Volleyball team got to take care of some business first. We're going to take care of Bruiser's Bites coming up next. Stay with us. Hour number 3 coming up next on The Game.
Want to watch D.N.D? They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
I like him even more.
Just search 97.3 The Game.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Eagles songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Life in the Fast Lane.
He was too tired to make it. She was too tired to fight about it. Life in the fast lane surely make you lose your mind. Life in the fast lane. Life in the fast lane. Everything all the time.
Number 2, Take It Easy.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Come on, baby. Don't say nay.
Number 1, Hotel California.
There were voices down this corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely place.
Hear more from the Eagles and similar artists now. Search for the Eagles on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music,
all your favorite stations,
all free.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1971.
February, 4 months after her death, Janis Joplin's album Pearl is released and goes to number 1. The single Me and Bobby McGee also tops the chart. Bill Withers hits number 3 with the single Ain't No Sunshine from his debut album produced by Booker T. Jones. In March of 71, Carole King releases her first solo album and scores 2 number 1 singles, I Feel the Earth Move and It's Too Late. And UK progressive rockers Jethro Tull have a top 10 album on both sides of the Atlantic with Aqualung.
Running down his nose. Greasy fingers smearing shabby clothes. Hey, Aqualung.
In April, the Temptations topped the charts with Just My Imagination, their third number 1 and their 13th top 10 single. Three Dog Night have their second number 1 single with Joy to the World. And the Rolling Stones album Sticky Fingers is released, including the number 1 single Brown Sugar.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1971. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1976.
Bob Dylan releases his album Desire. It goes to number 1 in the States, thanks mainly to significant radio airplay for the single Hurricane.
Couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game.
Scottish sensations the Bay City Rollers finally score a hit in the U.S. with the number 1 single Saturday Night. In February, former Steve Miller Band member Boz Scaggs has a number 2 U.S. album with Silk Degrees. Peter Frampton hits number 1 with his double live album Frampton Comes Alive. It would become the best-selling album of 1976.
I want you, show me the way. Every day, I want you, show me the way. Night and day.
In March, Irish hard rockers Thin Lizzy's 6th album Jailbreak scores them a number 12 hit single with The Boys Are Back in Town.
The boys are back in town again. Been hanging down at Dino's.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1976. Coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Bryan Adams to discuss the difficulties of putting a record together, particularly the Reckless album.
If you knew what Reckless took to make, you wouldn't think that, it just sounds like we went in an afternoon and recorded a record, because I told over that record for 6 months, I mean, it was one of the hardest things I ever did. I was completely wiped out afterwards, because I fought every step of the way with everybody about it. And even though I had a good team, there was a lot of struggles. Mm-hmm. But I come to terms with the fact that if you want something bad enough, you got to fight for it, and so that's what I do now. I just I put together a good entourage of guys and go in there and just get in the scrum, man.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Bryan Adams and all your favorite artists.
What you waiting for? Let's go. Make sure to make us a preset on the iHeartRadio app so you can listen to us anytime, anywhere. Wisconsin's home for sports and stuff. We are the Game.
Throw a little EDM in there.
This is Avicii. Yeah, a little bit.
I never know what you're going to play, because sometimes
this got put in here over while I was gone. So I don't know if you did that or if Armin did that.
I might have done that.
That's possible.
I mean, this is a great song. Levels by Avicii.
For a second, I thought this was another Asian Chris selection.
No, it was not.
He paid last week for the
That's true.
Make-A-Wish event.
If you want to keep donating to Make-A-Wish, you can keep picking, bumper
keep picking songs, yeah.
That's right. If you can prove you donated $100,
sure.
I mean, why wouldn't we allow them, right?
Yeah, why not?
We will take any. It's got to be a donation,
right?
I want to see the receipt. I never want to see the money. We're not selling for our benefit the bumper music, but if you want to give to charity,
Mm-hmm.
It could be the Mac Fund. It could be Make-A-Wish. It could be St. Jude. We do some stuff with St. Jude down the hallway.
Yeah.
Any of that stuff.
Could be Humane Society.
It could be the Humane Society. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course it could be the Humane Society.
Yeah. Every dog needs a home this Christmas.
Of course. Dog, cat.
Yeah.
They have bunny
Lizard,
rabbits.
hamster.
Exactly.
I mean,
give these pets a home.
If you donate to a legitimate charity, I'm not talking about a pet, charity of yours. I'm not talking about the Human Fund.
Yeah, or charity at Heartbreakers.
That does not count. I know she's trying to put herself through school.
Yeah,
but
that doesn't count either.
That does not count.
I know you were already thinking it, Red Hot Tim Knott, but no, that's not. It's not going to count.
Our bumper music is for sale for a legitimate charity. That's what I'm
exactly.
saying. Okay.
Yes.
And if you can demonstrate that, we'll let you. $100. We'll sell you a whole hour. How about that?
Yeah, why not?
We will sell you an entire.
We got it
hour.
on sale. It's on special.
It's on special today only. No, it's for the holiday season. You donate $100 to any legitimate charity, any of the ones that we mentioned. And again, not charity at Heartbreakers.
We'll play your bump music as long as it doesn't have any curse words in it.
We'll play your bumper music that doesn't have any curse words in it for an entire hour. You get to pick ins and outs. So that's at the top of the hour. That's going out of the first break. That's the second break, in and out. So that's 4 right there. So there's 6.
6 total.
You get 6 bumps for $100.
Yeah, that's a deal right
that's
there.
That's a deal right there. And you can. We'll even give you.
Yeah. You know who else provides a deal? Wisconsin Concrete Coatings, don't they, Nick?
They do, and it is about damn time we get to what we like to call Bruiser's Bites, because this is what we wait for at 1:00 every day, Monday through Friday.
Time now for Bruiser's Bites.
Yes, sir. Wisconsin Concrete Coatings does provide you quite the deal of having the best garage on the block. And I'm still waiting. I'm sure after they hear me do this for months and months and months, they'll get me that promo code I can give you guys and say, hey, Nick sent you. But for now, the deal of a lifetime is to have the best garage on the block. You call or you visit wiconcretecoatings.com. Wisconsin Concrete Coatings, their polyurea coating, 6 times stronger than your traditional epoxy. We did our NFL training camp house in Green Bay this year, as we tend to do annually. This is my first year making the travel roster, and almost immediately I commented to Red Hot. I said, "That's a great garage for, but I bet it's not Wisconsin Concrete Coatings."
I thought you were going to say almost immediately I regretted it.
No, I didn't regret it. The CPAP house, it treated me well.
Yeah.
Right?
CPAP Kappa?
CPAP.
Whatever we want to call it. Honestly, I might need a CPAP, but that's a whole different conversation. I've been snoring way too frequently for my liking. Back to Wisconsin.
And
Concrete
Abby's
Coatings.
liking, but
I was going to say.
Yeah, goodness gracious. Yeah, she's been an angel. Only rarely does she slap me awake. You know?
I get a jab in the ribs. You turn over. But I haven't done that. I haven't done that in a long time since I lost weight, thanks to our friends at Madison Weight Loss.
Hey, there we go.
You telling me something, man?
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that this just worked for me.
It's just his testimony.
I lost some weight and I stopped snoring, so I don't get jabbed in the ribs anymore by my wife, who's trying to get some sleep on the other side of the bed.
That's right. wiconcretecoatings.com. Visit them there. See all the great work that they can do for you. We'll start with Greg Jennings, Super Bowl champion, Green Bay Packer. This is what he had to say yesterday on First Things First about the emotional loss of Micah Parsons.
But just the overall impact of just a player like that going down, it hits the locker room like a load of bricks.
Oof.
I mean, but Rashawn Gary, when he was asked about Micah, his response for the first 15 seconds of the question, he head down and he just like 3 times. Like, it's so deflating when you lose a guy like this. And we had a lot of injuries the year we ended up winning it. But I can only imagine if we had lost Charles Woodson before we got to the postseason, not in the Super Bowl. Just so deflating. And I feel sorry for those guys. But as Matt LaFleur alluded to, nobody across the league is going to feel sorry for them.
Yeah, Greg Jennings, he understands that locker room well, having been a part of that culture for as long as he was. This is more than just the X's and O's. You lose a leader, you lose a star player, you lose someone you rely on. How do you quantify that moving forward? Like, how do we ultimately tell if they are emotionally dejected from the loss of Micah Parsons.
I think you're just going to look at the energy that they come out with on Saturday night against the Bears, right? Because if they play dejected, if they play lethargic, I mean, that's hard to hide. I know that everybody's disappointed, and I know that there's this whole next man up mentality. That's easier said than done. If it's a close, I don't think they gave up against the Broncos. I just think that they were a little bit outmanned, and Bo Nix had an incredible game against Green Bay. The problems with the Packers defense, and there aren't many of them when everybody's healthy, but the problem has been their cornerbacks. The cornerbacks aren't great. And the problem is going to be that Caleb Williams extends plays better than most quarterbacks right now in the NFL. So could be a long night, but I think we're going to find out whether or not they play with energy or if they're just dejected that they lost their best player. I don't think it's going to take all 60 minutes to figure it out.
Yeah, that's I completely agree with Doug. You got to see how they play when they come out there this weekend. So you hope they can rally back and bounce back. Whoever it is that's got to give that rallying speech or whatever it is to get up, because the momentum just completely swung on the side of the Broncos for this game. It's not that they gave up, but momentum was completely against them, and they really kind of lacked the ability to push back on it when they lost Watson and then Parsons. So they're going to need to somehow find that energy. They're going to need Rashawn Gary to step up. They're going to need Edgerrin Cooper, as we've talked about, to step up a bit more in the pass rush. Lucas Van Ness as well. You're going to need to see all those guys, step up and do a little bit more. Mm-hmm. The secondary is going to have to be better because they're going to have to be covering for probably a bit longer now because Mike Parsons isn't getting that pass rush home quite as quickly as they had been when they had him and Devontae Wyatt and that whole group healthy up there.
Well, unhealthy have been the lifestyles, I think, and we can all admit it, of Bears fans for a very long time. It's just been bad for decades. And right now they have a glimmer of hope. A couple of Bears guys on Wake Up Barstool had this to say about the importance of Saturday's matchup with Green Bay. Bear with me. It's a little over a minute, but I want the full picture to be expressed.
This is the biggest Bears game since when?
I would say NFC Championship, Bears Packers, 2000.
Well, you got it. It's a 2018 playoffs, double doink. It's a playoff game. That's bigger than.
Sure, but this is also kind of like.
But in the context of like the downswing,
game,
everything that you've been going through lately.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying the biggest game since when. I think that was a bigger game in between.
I guess, but this. But then by that logic, you would have that Nickelodeon Saints game. That was a playoff.
Sure. Sure. But I don't count. That was the dumbest game of all time.
For sure. But it feels like we're on an upswing and we're trending up. The new quarterback, the new coach, everything's good. And then this feels like we're on an ascension and this could derail everything. And it is Green Bay.
But we can't think that way. That's
balancing on a knife's edge. It all hangs in the balance edge.
We were in the first year of our head coach. We were in the second year of our new franchise quarterback.
If you're flipping a narrative and you're hyped about the coach and you're hyped and it's like, oh, we're in a new era. If at the end of the day you can change everything. If you lose to the Packers twice, it's the same old Bears.
Sure, but I don't want to think that way.
He doesn't want to think that way. But I think it's Barstool Chief and Barstool Eddie for what it's worth.
Yeah.
A couple of Bears guys, they moved their headquarters to Chicago a handful of years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a massive game across the board. I think that, it doesn't take a person of great intelligence to recognize the importance for both teams here. But from a historical context, this is huge for the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's big for the Packers, but this is their Super Bowl.
I don't know. Is it though?
There you go. I'll throw you the floor.
Because this is an important game. There's no question about that. And I understand what those guys are saying, but you go back to the 2013 season or the end of the 2013 season when it was the winner wins the division, the loser is out of the playoffs. It was week 17. There were only 17 weeks of the season then. There wasn't the 17th game, so 18 weeks. I feel like I'm over-explaining. This is the last game of the season. The winner makes the playoffs, the loser doesn't. The winner wins the division, the loser goes home. The Bears had that game in hand until
Randall Cobb
streaks past Chris Conte and John Kuhn chip blocks his future teammate Julius Peppers. Aaron Rodgers was able to, squirt out to the left side and then just heave one, and the Packers were able to win that game. I think that was a bigger game than this one. But again, I'm not coming at it from a Bears perspective, but I feel like that was a bigger game than this one, or the biggest game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge game, but I mean, you can't go back. I don't think you can go back to the 2010 NFC Championship game. I think that's overhyping it.
I'm not sure anyone looked at that as a potential opportunity of the changing of the guard. I think that there was an expectation that season in itself was an opportunity for Chicago, but now there's a belief that the Packers are no longer led by a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Well, that
they have not won the division in now would be 4 straight years if they don't win this year, right? So you would look at it and you'd say, gosh, there's a real opportunity here to bury the Packers in the pecking order if you're Chicago.
Then they're being ridiculous. If they think that this season is going to be what buries the Packers, I mean, Micah Parsons still going to play next year.
Yeah.
Zach Thomas, no matter how banged up he is, he's going to play.
When was the last time the Packers went 4 years without winning the division?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look it up. But I do know that they've got the most recent Super Bowl championship of anyone in that division. They've got the most playoff wins of anybody in that division. So I'm not necessarily. It goes back to what we were saying at the top of the show. If you're a Packers fan, winning the division is so secondary to what happens in January. It's unbelievably secondary. Nobody cares. I mean, you brought up Josh. I mean, buy all the gear. Okay, great. I mean, you can do that, but I'm going to save up some powder for getting the stuff that really matters. And that's in Green Bay. That's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In other places, it's not. But the bar here you can see it on the screen. It's right at the top of my screen. If you're watching the stream, that's where the bar is for the Packers, and that's as high as it can get. It is Super Bowl or not Super Bowl. Or the Bucks, it's kind of here because they've faltered in the playoffs, and for the Brewers, it's make the playoffs. That's the baseline of what you expect these teams to be. And if you're not the Packers, yeah, okay, buy all the gear. If you are the Packers, who cares? That's why I don't know the last time they didn't win the division, because nobody cares.
So I had to Google this. The last time that the Packers went 4 consecutive years without winning the division title, it was between 1997 and 2002 during that stretch. So it's been a while, but still. And I think for the Bears and for Bears fans, they have been off-season champions for 3 years running, and they haven't really gotten any sort of actual results out of that yet with their off-season championship. So they want to feel that validation that they're finally there. And if they can get this win, if they can end up winning the division, they'll get that validation that they finally are there, that they're reaching their potential that they've been sold on for the past couple of seasons when they've thought they've really been building something. So it's certainly much bigger for them in Chicago, but still, I mean, there's got to be something more recent than 2010,
right? I mean, and the other thing is, get back to me when it's not 40 years in between Super Bowl championships. If they win one this year, then all right, you can talk all the stuff you want.
Yeah,
but if you win the division and you think that that's going to put the Packers down and demoralize their fans.
No.
To paraphrase one of their most popular all-time sports hosts, who you crapping?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
It means
that was a great time for the slash.
Yeah, right. I mean, honestly, it's like if they're going to think that that's what buries the Packers, a division championship, come on now. I mean, the bar is way too high in Green Bay for that.
Yeah.
And this Packers team, when healthy, and they're not healthy right now, but when healthy, okay, then let's strap on the old chin straps and let's go mano a mano and see what happens.
Well, on the bottom of the division are the Minnesota Vikings this year, and J.J. McCarthy has been the topic of much conversation throughout the season. If he's the guy, if he's not the guy, he's put together 2 solid performances in a row, but Jason Harmon on the Purple Daily Show, a podcast about the Vikings, had an interesting comp for who J.J. McCarthy might be or could be. He did say this outlandish, but we'll hear it.
So J.J. McCarthy's 6'3". Obviously, Josh Allen's a monster at 6'5". This quarterback was 6'2". J.J. McCarthy throws the ball too damn hard. This quarterback threw the ball too damn hard. J.J. McCarthy has a wonky delivery. This guy's delivery was so wonky, they had to create their own throwing motion for him in Madden. That was a separate setting. J.J. McCarthy plays in the NFC North. This guy plays in the NFC North. J.J. McCarthy has a big issue with dumb interceptions. J.J. McCarthy thrives in backyard football. I don't know. Maybe we got Brett Favre. That's all I'm going to say. Just going to say it. Brett Favre got traded off the team that drafted him. Could happen with J.J. McCarthy at this point. But no, I mean, obviously very different in how their arm strength is displayed. Favre could throw a beautiful touch ball downfield. McCarthy's not there yet. And McCarthy's obviously more mobile than Favre. But when you lay out some of the similarities, it makes me laugh a little bit. I do think that there are just guys who thrive out of structure.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a ride to get to the conclusion there, right? He mentions Josh Allen right away.
That is quite a journey. That's who I thought he was going to compare.
And
J.J.
then,
McCarthy
he ends with Brett Favre. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
I was born a boy. George Clooney was born a boy. So all of a sudden, I think I would be. I'm akin to George Clooney. I'm just as handsome. I'm just as talented. I'm just as stylish. I'm just as erudite. So I think that's the comparison that he's making. I mean, who? Again, I don't mean to go back to who you crapping.
Yeah.
I mean, J.J. McCarthy, prove something. Anything.
Literally anything.
Literally anything before you can start making the comparisons to Brett Favre. This is in a world full of hot takes, in a world full of dumb takes. This is the dumbest one I've heard in a while. Now, I don't know if it's the dumbest one I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And if J.J. McCarthy turns out to be something better than what we've seen so far, okay. But to put the cart so far in front of the horse, you're putting the cart like 10 miles ahead and asking the horse to catch up. That's how far ahead you're putting the cart in front of the J.J. McCarthy. Prove literally baseline anything, and then we'll start making comparisons. What a dumb comparison.
And all you've got for comparisons here are he throws the ball too hard for his receivers.
Mm-hmm.
He throws interceptions, and his delivery is different.
Mm-hmm.
His delivery is wonky. It's not exactly like that. That's not what made Brett Favre Brett Favre.
No.
I mean, the interceptions were part of it. Yeah. But there's so much more that went into Brett Favre's success that he had. There's so much more that goes into being a quarterback than just, he throws the ball hard and he throws some interceptions. He's basically Brett Favre.
You know what? They're both right-handed.
Whoa.
He might as well be Brett Favre.
Yeah.
They both have. Listen, I got another. I got another. They both wear single-digit uniform numbers.
Oh my God,
it's Brett Favre! Oh my God, it's Brett Favre!
Yeah.
Oh my God.
White.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that this pitcher has a mullet and that pitcher has a mullet? Oh my God, it's Randy Johnson. Oh my God,
J.J. McCarthy. No, I got another. J.J. McCarthy played football at Mississippi or at Michigan. J.J. McCarthy played football at Michigan.
Tom Brady played at Michigan.
No.
Oh,
we're still doing Favre.
Oh, okay.
Brett Favre played at Mississippi or at Mississippi.
Southern Miss.
Southern Miss. With Michigan, Mississippi. They both start with an M. Same guy.
Same guy.
Well, we'll end with this last bite of the day. Talking about a guy better than both of those two. Aaron Rodgers. How about that guy? Kyle Brandt of Good Morning Football had this to say about his performance last night against the Dolphins.
What we saw last night was that's the most comfortable Aaron Rodgers has looked in 3 years.
Facts.
3 years. I recognize that guy. I know that guy. We watched that guy for years. That guy has a Packers helmet on. If you just kind of squint your eyes and you block it out, and you would not think that he was in Pittsburgh. You would think that he was in Green Bay, and he is throwing to Devontae or Jordy or Randall Cobb. He was happy last night. He was comfortable, and I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't know if Rodgers at this stage can play that September football with the big boys when it's all warm and we're going to throw 45 passes. I'm going to throw 4 touchdowns. I'm not sure he can do that. I know he can do this. I know he was 23 or 27 last night. That's the second highest completion percentage in his career. A career that's like 21 years long or something crazy like that. I recognize that Rodgers from years ago.
Well, boys, what do you think? You think the old dog's got one last run in him?
Yeah, he might. I mean, listen, he played really well. I can't take anything away from Aaron Rodgers. He was injured that 1 year with the Jets, only played 4 snaps. I've made this comparison before. If you just look at his passing numbers only, at the end of the season, his and who turned out to be the league's most valuable player, Josh Allen, just their passing numbers are strikingly similar. Allen did other things, certainly much more adept with running the football, and that's a huge part of Josh Allen's game as well. But if you just look at their passing numbers, very similar. I think Aaron Rodgers can still play. He's just in a bad situation with the Jets. I'm not rooting for or against Aaron Rodgers. I'm interested in it, and I can recognize when he does well. And yeah, he's played really well for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he's in a good situation. I think he's with players and coaches, teammates and coaches that he's comfortable with, and I think he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, Marquez Valdez-Scantling really held the secret, the key there to that success. But
maybe he's the one who, instead of Lazard, maybe it was
maybe it was MVS
who needed to go to New York with him.
Maybe, yeah. But Rodgers, he still has his fastball. You know, as much as he's towards the end of his career, you see some guys lose their fastball. Rodgers still has the fastball. He still has that to be able to fit it into tight windows. I mean, a couple of the throws that he made yesterday were just absolutely stupid, just insane. And he's able to complete them. And basically no one else in the league is able to complete those types of passes. I mean, he still has it. So yeah, I'm excited to see what he can end up doing.
MVS became the second player to catch a pass from Aaron Rodgers on both the Packers and Steelers. Any guesses on who the other guy is?
On both the Packers and Steelers?
Yeah.
Who else was on the Steelers that played in Green Bay? What am I forgetting?
I'll give it to you guys. It's Aaron Rodgers himself.
Oh. Yeah. That's right.
Oh,
it's like,
trick question.
Well, it's like for years before people caught on, it was the question for Packers fans was, what Hall of Famer did Brett Favre complete his first NFL pass to?
It was
or what
Favre.
What future NFL Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, was it Sterling Sharp? Well, he wasn't in the Hall of Fame yet. Was it Robert Brooks? But Robert Brooks is in the Hall of Fame. No, it's to himself. It was batted down and caught it himself. So
Aaron was also the oldest QB in NFL history to complete 85% of his passes in a game.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, it's a good comparison. On the talk and text line, only Phil writes, does JJ McCarthy take a lot of Vicodin?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he ever took a painkiller, well, he's the same guy. Obviously.
He becomes 9. That's what happens when he takes some painkillers.
Red Hot Timnot writes, so if JJ sends some pics to some ladies, will his career turn around? Well, we never know. It didn't help Brett's career. Well, I suppose, the next year, he was pretty good in Minnesota. He was good for one of the 2 years in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So,
and JJ's a young father. So, unfortunately, I doubt
so was Brett.
And so was Sharon Moore. But
Brett was an old dad.
At the time, yes, but
almost.
he became, when his first daughter was born, I think he was either 21, 22, 23, somewhere in there when Brittany Favre was born. Braley came along later.
How's it spelled?
Brittany or Braley?
Brittany.
Brittany, I think.
The normal way.
Thought we were talking about Aaron Rodgers' wife.
Oh, not with an I at the end. No,
that would be so awkward. Oh my God,
Dad!
Wait a minute.
Can I call you that? No, okay. They had the mics on the guys in the post game last night, right? So you hear a bunch of stuff. Zach Wilson came up to him. They were teammates with the Jets, and he said, hey, puts his hand on his shoulder, slaps it. Congratulations on the marriage, and Aaron's like laughing and hugs on him a little bit. And then Joe Barry, defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, comes up and he says, "You're the GOAT. I mean that. The greatest of all time," to Aaron. I'm like, wow, what a day. What a day for Aaron.
Well, Joe Barry, his defense got carved up,
pretty good.
As always. Well, as usual. It's Joe Barry.
Yeah.
To be fair, actually, in my opinion, I think, if I'm remembering right, Joe Barry's defense has performed well enough in the postseason in the late portions of Aaron's career. It was just the offense that finally didn't show up in the playoffs.
Well, and Aaron was part of that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's like Aaron was actually potential. Last couple of times around, I feel like Aaron might have been more responsible than the defense, right? That lost to the Niners in the snow was a punt block. I mean, that's the only reason that Niners won.
Yeah. Aaron, Aaron from Fondy on the talking text line sent in a picture of his dog, which I always appreciate.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
It's a nice dog.
That is nice.
As a Dalmatian.
All of this, put the clothes on it. Wisconsin Concrete Coatings, wiconcretecoatings.com, our presenting sponsor of Bruiser's Bites.
Thank you. CJ in Madison writes in on the talking text line, the Packers winning the division is like winning the NBA Cup. No one cares unless you haven't won anything in a long time. The Packers have been regular division champs, and like Doug said, what you do in the playoffs is more important. It is. I mean, okay, if the Bears win the NFC North, okay, go buy your gear and feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Wake me up and if you're playing in Santa Clara in February, okay, then we'll talk.
Yeah. I mean, we can say that ultimately for every single team around here. Ultimately, you get judged by what you do in the playoffs. Every single sport, every single team. And we're talking about the Brewers and all the success that they can have. 97 wins, great. What'd you do in the playoffs? You beat the Cubs, awesome. But then you got boat race in the NLCS. We can talk about, Badger basketball. You can have a great regular season, be number 3 seed in the tournament, but if you don't make the second weekend, how are you really judging the team? Football, where the Badger football, Packers, whatever, Bucks, okay, like how far do you go in the playoffs?
Yeah. The Bucks were the number 1 seed how many times? When they won the NBA championship, they were the 3 seed.
Yeah.
When the Packers won the Super Bowl, the one that we all talk about in 2010,
they were the 6 seed.
They were the number 6 seed. They've been the number 1 seed, and that has not worked out well for them. They've been the number 1 seed a couple of times.
Yeah.
And it has not worked out well for them. So what you do in the regular season, I mean, I suppose it helps set you up for the postseason. At the end of the day, it don't mean squat.
No. You will get judged on what you do in the postseason. Fair or not. That's what it all is going to come down to.
This isn't hockey. There's not a President's Cup.
No.
Although the Mariners did get a Losers Cup back in 2001.
Oh, yes.
Because they won 16 games?
116, yeah.
They won 116 games.
Good for them.
But they didn't get to the ALCS that year. They bowed out early, and Bud Selig gave them a Losers Trophy that they actually display at T-Mobile Park.
That's the only
Brewers
trophy they
did
got.
a losers parade, right? I mean,
They did. You're right. They did. They had a lose. My dad was at that losers parade. He took some great pictures of the losers parade. But that's what it was. It was a losers parade.
Yeah.
I want a winners parade. The Bucks didn't have a losers parade. The Bucks had a winners parade. The Packers don't have return to Titletown after they lost Super Bowl 32. Think they did a return to Titletown? Hell no. They did one the year before after they won Super Bowl 31. They did one, 14 years later after they won Super Bowl 45. I don't want losers parades. I'm not interested in losers parades.
Yeah. I'm with you.
All right. Thank you, Dick. Excellent work as always. And when we come back, we'll kind of bridge the gap. Matt LaFleur, I don't know if he's going to be on time or not. He usually isn't, but he's got some thoughts coming up about Micah Parsons. We will hopefully hear some of them, but we'll see. It's all going to depend on the coach. It all depends on the clock. But we got a couple more segments to go here on D.N.D. on the Game Radio Network.
Yeah. Get a feeling that I never had before. No. I get a good feeling, yeah.
Want to watch D.N.D? They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
There you go.
There we go.
Just search 97.3 The Game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1969.
In May of 69, Neil Young releases his first album with Crazy Horse, Everyone Knows This Is Nowhere, featuring the songs Cinnamon Girl and Down by the River. The Who released the double concept album Tommy, which goes top 10 in the US and the UK.
Even on my favorite table, he can't beat my best. His disciples needed him, and he just does the rest. Start crazy, little fingers, never seen him fall. That kid, dumb and blind kid, sure plays a mean pinball.
David Bowie's single Space Oddity, released to coincide with the Apollo 11 moon landing, reaches number 5 in the UK. Also in July, Bob Dylan has a top 10 hit with Lay Lady Lay in his new, deeper-sounding vocal style, which he attributes to quitting smoking.
Whatever colors you have in your mind, I show them to you, and you see them shine. Lay, lady, lay, play across my big brass bed.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears have a number 2 hit with Spinning Wheel, popularizing the so-called brass rock movement. That includes BST, Chicago, and Electric Flag.
Drop all your troubles by the riverside. Catch a painted pony on the spinning wheel ride.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1969. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1978.
In January of 1978, the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack is released featuring the music of the Bee Gees. It hits number 1 in the U.S. for more than 6 months. An amazing 18 weeks at number 1 in the U.K., it becomes the best-selling soundtrack album of all time. In February of 78, Pasadena, California hard rock band Van Halen released their self-titled debut album. It hits number 19 on the charts. Their cover of The Kinks' You Really Got Me cracks the top 40 at number 36. In March, the Patti Smith Group released their third album, Easter. It goes to number 20. Their single, Because the Night, goes to number 13. It was co-written with Bruce Springsteen. In May of 78, Detroit rock singer Bob Seger releases his 10th album, Stranger in Town. It goes to number 4 in the U.S., yielding 3 top 20 singles, including Still the Same, which also goes to number 4.
Are you still the same?
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1978. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1969.
In May of 69, Neil Young releases his first album with Crazy Horse, Everyone Knows This Is Nowhere, featuring the songs Cinnamon Girl and Down by the River. The Who released the double concept album Tommy, which goes top 10 in the US and the UK.
He brought my favorite table, he can't beat my best. His disciples needed him, and he just does the rest. Stop crazy, flipping fingers, never seen him fall. That kept on a blind kid, sure plays a mean pinball.
David Bowie's single Space Oddity, released to coincide with the Apollo 11 moon landing, reaches number 5 in the UK. Also in July, Bob Dylan has a top 10 hit with Lay Lady Lay in his new, deeper-sounding vocal style, which he attributes to quitting smoking.
Whatever colors you have in your mind, I show them to you, and you see them shine. Lay, lady, lay, play across my big brass bed.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears have a number 2 hit with Spinning Wheel, popularizing the so-called brass rock movement. That includes BST, Chicago, and Electric Flag.
Drop all your troubles by the riverside. Catch a painted pony on the spinning wheel ride.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1969. Coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Sir Elton John to ask what were some of the first things he did when he arrived in America.
You have to realize that when I first came to America and went to places like Memphis, I went to the Stax studio and knelt before the 8-track machine and kissed it. I went to Motown Studios. I went to the Apollo Theater in New York. It was very, very important for me to pay homage to the places that the great music came out of. I went to the Ryman in Nashville. It's, as a British person who loved American music, it was very important for me. I was fascinated, all the hours of pleasure that this stuff had given me.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Elton John and all your favorite artists.
Stormy from the 608 writes in here on D.N.D. on the Talk and Text line, the NicoletLaw.com Talk and Text line, 877-794-1973. Fellas, can you talk about the Green Bay Packers' issues inside the red zone and why they don't have some Malik Willis packages that have a double threat inside the red zone? Malik Willis may not be the quarterback that Jordan Love is, but he does provide a double threat, and that's one more thing that the defense has to cover. I think it's worth. Listen, you got to get creative sometimes. I don't think it's out of the question. Malik Willis does have some skills that Jordan, it's not that he doesn't have, but I don't know that I want to expose my $55 million a year quarterback to, that perhaps Malik Willis could add a couple of wrinkles to. But the flip side of that is you take out your starting quarterback for your backup quarterback, and the other team knows exactly what you're running.
Yeah. And you're paying Jordan Love $55 million a year to come through in those kinds of moments in the red zone. And
That's right.
Like there's a reason like Love is the starter. And I don't think we can really hate on Matt LaFleur too much for keeping his starting quarterback out there in the red zone. I understand, the thought, because when we've seen Malik Willis in there, he can have those types of threats. But yeah, switching out Love for Willis, it's going to be tough to get across that bridge if you're Matt LaFleur, especially if it doesn't work. It's like, what are you
But
doing?
you're also telegraphing what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
That as well.
Which is going to make
Matt's
it that
not
much
afraid
harder
to do.
for it to work.
Matt's not typically worried about the other team knowing what he's running. He says that happens all the time. Happens all the time. They always know what we're about to run.
True.
For what it's worth, this season, the Packers ranked 7th in the NFL, 7th best, with a 64.71 touchdown percentage, well in the red zone.
It's pretty good.
This past weekend, and so it was on the road. You lost personnel partially through the game with Christian Watson. When you have a shorter field, you need difference makers at wide receiver, guys that can create separation. And I think that's the Packers' largest problem right now. They don't have enough guys that are certainly Devontae Adams-esque, who might be the best to ever do it, off the line where you can create separation. Watson's that guy, and now he's potentially hurt. So you'd think they'd be better without playing a defense like Denver moving forward again. And like I said, 7th best in all of the league. Not terribly far off from top, which is 69.44% for Philadelphia. As I mentioned, 64.71 for Green Bay, which is up 6.5% from last year's total as well for Green Bay.
Yeah, they've been pretty good in the red zone. Blake from Clear Lake sends in a picture of his adorable, cute as a button daughter.
Oh my goodness.
Riley. She is wearing Packers, it's not a onesie, but it's like a little Packers t-shirt for an infant. And writes, my daughter Riley needs to see a championship before her first birthday. Does she know? I would like her to see a lot of championships. Love for that. But I don't know that there's a clock that's ticking on Riley.
She's got plenty more birthdays to come.
Yeah, I don't know that she's going to remember a championship before her first birthday.
Well, that's good, right?
Let's play
At
the
what
long
age
game
does she
here.
remember?
Right. I don't
that
remember.
age is when you want
Yeah, I don't remember anything before
4,
5.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's Nick.
it's kind of
Nick
hate.
and his memory issues. Yes, Nick doesn't remember anything before 17.
Yeah,
that's right.
No, Riley be fine. I mean, don't put that timeline on her. She's perfect as she is. She's cute as a button. Hopefully she has many, 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 many happy and healthy years of watching Packers championships.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be many stressful years and stressful moments because that's life as a Wisconsin sport.
Yeah, you get kicked in the nuts. Well, I mean, really.
All the time.
Yeah, I mean, the proverbial.
Proverbially,
yes. Not the literal.
Yes, Riley doesn't have that kind of concern.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
Keep them coming on the talking text line. We'll spin through a couple of them in a couple minutes as well. 877-794-1973. I do want to hear from Packers coach Matt LaFleur as he will address Micah Parsons' situation. We'll hear from the horse's mouth coming up in just a couple minutes. We've got one more segment to go. Stay with us. It's D.N.D. on the game.
Boring stories of glory days. Yeah, passing by every day.
You are listening to D.N.D. with Doug, Nick, and Terry.
It pains me to say this. It's right.
Hey, why does that pain you to say? I'm right quite a bit, I think.
Middays here on the game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1975.
In September, the Isley Brothers have a #1 album, The Heat Is On, driven by the #4 single, Fight the Power. Alive is a 2-record live album that goes to #9 for Kiss. They released the single Rock and Roll All Night, which goes to #12. David Bowie switches to Philly Soul on the LP Young Americans, featuring the #1 single Fame, which was co-written by John Lennon. UK rock band Foghat have a top 20 hit with Slow Ride from the album Fool for the City. In October of 75, Pink Floyd released their follow-up to Dark Side of the Moon. Wish You Were Here goes to number 1 in the US and the UK.
Have we found the same old fear? Wish you were here.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more. 1975 coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1968.
California's Creedence Clearwater Revival released their debut LP, which contains the number 11 single Susie Q. And in August, American band Tommy James and the Shondells have a number 1 hit in the UK with Moni Moni. It goes to number 8 in the US. And the Doors have their first number 1 album and their second and last number 1 single with Hello, I Love You. In November of 68, Van Morrison releases his second solo album, Astral Weeks, and Joe Cocker has a UK number 1 with his cover of the Beatles with a little help from my friends. And in December, Motown holds the top spot with number 1 hits from Marvin Gaye, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and the Supremes with Love Child. The Beatles released their first single on their own Apple label, Hey Jude, back with Revolution. The over 7-minute song went to number 1 in the US and the UK.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more. From 1968 coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight. From 1977.
In June of 77, Ram Jam have a top 20 U.S. hit single with a cover of Lead Belly's song Black Betty. Chicago area rock band Styx have a U.S. top 10 album, Grand Illusion, including the top 10 single Come Sail Away.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me.
In July of 77, the Grateful Dead future with progressive rock, adding strings, horn, and a choir on their ninth studio album, Terrapin Station. In August of 77, the King dies. Elvis Presley's found dead in his home in Memphis, Tennessee at the age of 42. Detroit rock vocalist Iggy Pop releases his second solo album, Lust for Life. It's his second collaboration with David Bowie. New York's Billy Joel releases his fifth album, The Stranger. It goes to number 2 in the U.S., with the single Just the Way You Are rising to number 3.
I want you just the way you are.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more. From 1977 coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Bryan Adams to talk about working with the legendary Jeff Lynne.
I think that one of the great things about Jeff Lynne, he's sort of able to become a member of the band no matter what band he works with. So you listen to any of his projects, his signature is all over it. It was serendipitous that we actually met up, and he asked me if I didn't want to cut a track sometime. I was like, yeah. As soon as I got the track back, I was like, when are we doing the next one? Even Jeff was surprised when he got the track. I was like, wow, we got tons of other songs. And so I would send a demo that Jim and I would have written, and then send him the files, and then Jeff would use whatever he wanted to and replace whatever he wanted to and send back a master.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Bryan Adams and all your favorite artists.
Final segment, D.N.D. Nick and Dave here on the Game Radio Network. Packers coach Matt LaFleur meeting the media in Green Bay, certainly addressing the Micah Parsons situation. He is at the podium, and we're going to go live-ish to Green Bay.
Matt, did,
All right, that's Packers coach Matt LaFleur meeting the media live in Green Bay. They've shifted everything. So what was on, say, for example, Wednesday, now on Tuesday. So I guess we will hear from Jordan Love later on after practice. The Packers still haven't gone out on the practice field yet, but hopefully we'll hear from Jeff Hafley maybe tomorrow, and we can ask him, or the reporters assembled in Green Bay can ask him about some of the schemes that they will be able to dial up against the Bears without Micah Parsons on the field. We talked about that a little bit earlier in the program. Fellas, good job. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Yep. Can't wait, Doug. Looking forward to it.
Let's do it.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Drew and Hunter are coming up next. I think Dobie's in the room.
Yeah, I just saw him walk by.
All right. Dobie's here
Yeah.
too. So all that and more coming up. We're going to shower up and dust ourselves off and try to be better tomorrow. See you then.
Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1970.